cops.
So that was cleared up.
Nah, that's not what you said.
Yes, that is what she said. Yes, it
Are you
is.
I'm sorry. Are you cheerleading?
No,
I thought you set your pom poms down, but I wasn't talking to you though.
And I'm clearing.
But you didn't want to be addressed, so why are you still addressing me?
Oh my God!
Shut up. Yes,
are
your God. Call on him, girl. Call on him, girl.
Such a bully.
Call on him, girl.
Oh God.
Do you feel bullied on your own fucking phone?
Did she say a bully?
On your phone? You know you can hang up, right? You know you can press the X, right? I can't bully you if you pay the bill, bitch. That's asinine. That's crazy.
That's right. You're responsible.
That's crazy. If you feel bullied, leave.
Why are you saying this so much bullying?
But when y'all were sitting up here all talking at one person, you didn't give a fuck about how you was bullying, supposedly. Yeah, it's what the fuck I thought.
Yeah,
that's shut your little annoying ass up. Shut your little annoying ass up. Shut your little annoying ass up. You was running your fucking mouth until somebody came up here who run their mouth better than you.
Ma'am, I ran my mouth back to you. I know you think
I'm so whiny. I'm so fucking whiny. You're whiny as fuck. Where was all of that? Where was all that whininess when you was up here thinking you was cute?
Ma'am,
y'all thought y'all was ganging up on Ashley. That's exactly what the fuck you thought you was doing.
Fucking insecure to think you know people's minds like that.
Girl, I saw you.
Ma'am, I don't.
You had so much to say until I came up here.
I fucking spoke back to you.
Why are you stuttering?
About?
Are you okay?
Oh, shut the fuck up, you gaslighting asshole.
Do you need a moment? You need a moment?
Shut the fuck up.
Do you need a moment?
Such a cunt.
Yeah, thank you. I know that. Anyway, so back to the topic at hand. If she's a black woman, she's definitely impacted by tokenization. Okay, so it was really stupid and asinine for a person to assume that black people cannot be impacted by other black people being tokenized.
That's not what
you said. Why does it impact you so much? Why do you care? Move on, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You can go
it's
ahead.
Dumb.
Next.
What do you mean next? If you can't fucking defend your point, then what you make it for?
She can't even defend her own point. You had to come up here and have her hide behind you while you fucking.
No, that's not what happened at all. That's what you've been doing this whole time. That's what you've been doing this whole time.
Bitch, do not sit here and gaslight me.
That's what you've been doing this whole time. Girl, gaslight. Did you just learn that word today?
You have lost your goddamn
mind. Did you just learn that word today or something?
You are planting seeds and treating me like I'm.
Since when did I become a farmer, bitch? I'm not planting seeds. I asked you direct.
Oh my God.
I asked you direct.
Are you going to move this live on or what?
Oh, now you calling on hoes? He ain't going to save you, bitch.
Bitch, I don't want your
He not going to save you.
Platform.
Listen, I know.
This is the free speech platform. He's not going to save you.
I'm not. How is me wanting? I'm not saving. I'm trying to get the conversation moving. There's no saving me.
And I was not talking to you
right now.
You addressed
this is a free speech platform. He does not. He does not.
Did I just answer you that I didn't want saving?
And I was no longer talking to you when I made that statement. You do realize you're not the only person up here, correct? So stop answering everything that I say, assuming that it's directed towards you, and I will stop addressing you. Go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, the fact that officer was brought up was because we were having the conversation about interracial dating. So his race was definitely a part of it because you said that you were in an interracial date in an interracial relationship. So the fact that you're saying now that you just brought him up because he's a cop is a lie, because I was talking about black cops. And you assume that because your boyfriend is a black cop that you are entitled to jump into the conversation and say your 2 cents. And I immediately said that that's tokenizing.
Because you can have talking about black cops. And I said you were wrong.
You're not a black cop. You're not a
no,
cop,
but I said you were wrong. I said you were wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you were.
No,
in the
I'm
conversation,
not.
you were
Bex,
wrong.
to answer her question, what was she wrong on the basis of what, though?
I don't even remember what the conversation was about because I never even got to finish. And I made the joke like, oh, we're talking about black cops. Now can I tokenize my black cop boyfriend? And everybody said no. And I went on mute and didn't say my point.
Right. And why would you start the sentence off that way and then say you weren't tokenizing back?
Because this is constantly what I hear. Like, this is like, Ashley is going off of shit from like, back and again because it's all about because of the lore of
Hollywood.
That's all of what.
This is what you said yesterday, bitch.
But
you said this. Nobody brought him up but you.
The problem is that didn't happen. The problem is, can I respond since we're all talking about me? So the problem is that didn't happen until hours into the conversation. And no, I did not. You came into a conversation that had been happening for hours. This conversation had been happening. I didn't come up here when you were up here and say, I have a black cop boyfriend. Let me have this conversation. No, we were well in the conversation. You're trying. We listened to the beginning of the recording.
When I came up, you were on mute. Stop. No, you're not gonna. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do this. Stop.
We had this conversation for hours before you showed up.
Stop. I need you to stop.
But she wasn't addressing you directly, though.
I just came up here.
Ashley.
But just to get an outside opinion and unbiased, anytime you bring up that you have a BLK boyfriend, girlfriend, or a YT boy in an argument, that is tokenizing.
And you use the word tokenizing as a joke, and she was not addressing you.
The conversation was about interracial relationships. We were
having but Bex, I was here, Bex, and it's the truth. You did do that, and you were on mute, and you were not the person being addressed. Okay, you were not the person being addressed. That's why you didn't
play the recording all the way to that part. You only play the beginning part.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to hear it because you already got caught lying.
Fucking golf.
But she's not lying about that part, though.
But so is the conversation? T-Bone, is this a free speech platform where anyone can have a conversation about any topic?
Oh my God.
We're not saying that. Like, Bex, you missing a point on purpose. So you're trying to be ignorant on purpose.
I'm not missing it on purpose. Ashley came up here and started rage baiting the conversation to make us all.
No, she did not rage bait.
Told us that white people cannot speak on this. That's what she told us. White people cannot speak on interracial relationships.
That's not what I said.
Yes, it is.
Again, when I came up here, I said to Sir Charles, none of you white bitches, I referred to him specifically, and I said, you're wasting your time because these people are not understanding what you are trying to say, because he was trying to be provocative. He was trying to provoke you guys. You stayed on mute and you kept staying on mute. Ligma said disgusting racist shit. You kept staying on mute. But then when I started talking about the cops, oh my God, you're interrupting me right now.
Like, I'm sorry.
You're interrupting me right now.
Interracial relationships.
You're interrupting me right now. I don't care.
I get to talk about
That's the point, Bex. Nobody gave a shit. I thought you were asleep. I'm going to be 100% honest because you were quiet. If you were listening to the recording, you were quiet.
Someone else was talking.
For the entire time. Stop talking over me. Stop talking over me. You fucked up. Like,
no,
you fucked up. You were being racist to a white woman.
I stand down on everything I said.
You
already got caught lying.
Oh my God, Bax, you're exhausting.
That's why we didn't listen to the rest of the clip.
You're
you tried to gaslight us and tell us it was
on what you say, Bex, then you know that you tried to make it as a joke.
Yeah,
it was not part of the conversation.
So the joke, you didn't like the joke. That's fine. That's a valid opinion. You can have that opinion. But the point is, we were having this conversation before Ashley ever came here. I wasn't on mute.
That doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter.
And I get to have a conversation.
That's irrelevant, though. What you opened up the statement by saying, "Can I tokenize my boyfriend now?"
No,
and you're mad because somebody accused you of tokenizing.
That was hours into the conversation.
But that's the one point that she's making.
No, it's not. That's not the point that she was making.
Oh
she started with 5 other points.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because the other points
from last night.
Yes, Manny,
you were here. Joke that didn't land well. Okay, moving along. You're proving the exact reason why interracial dating is harmful.
Thank you. And that was my point.
Yes. Well, white people should never speak about it. That's what I've
No,
learned.
we're saying that you should just be a white girlfriend and be that and leave black problems, and just be a white
interracial relationships.
Because you have a BLK boyfriend does not mean that you get to
It's definitely not a white problem, bitch.
Interracial relationships are everybody's issue.
It is not a white problem. How did this affect you in a negative way?
How does people talking bad about interracial relationships?
How does this affect you in a negative way? You're not answering my question. You literally said
that you're against interracial relationships.
You're not answering my question. How does this impact you in a negative way?
If interracial relationships are looked as a bad thing, that would affect interracial relationships.
How does it impact white people?
But you do understand the difference between your impacted feelings and then an impacted community. So don't play stupid.
Yes, but that would affect people who are in interracial relationships.
No, it wouldn't.
Your feelings are not more
You're not
impacted
saying exactly
than somebody's cultural experience.
Oh
and seeing be it that you are the
it's
same
dumb, and this is the reason why. This is the reason why people feel like people can't speak on it, because y'all be getting in your feelings instead of listening to the facts. Your impacted feelings, you know there's no comparison to someone being impacted in their entire community. If you cannot get that point, then why even have the conversation? Because you've already failed to have any type of an intellectual conversation if you can't get past that idea.
Honestly, if
Queen,
I
mind you,
genuinely don't want to have
Strawberry
Okay,
conversations
in
Bexy,
with
Nick's
this
people who
is
have
live.
it.
Hold
why
on, hold on,
you
hold on.
should
In
rather
Nick's
like
live, one
listen
second, one
than
second, one
to
second, one second, one
respond.
second, one second, one second. In Nicholas's live, prior to this one, we were trying to recap the situation. I pointed out a few of the things that happened, and Strawberry is in a relationship. I'm sorry, has married a white man, and she 100% is not going to disagree with the way that I'm speaking about this. And she also understands the impact because she is a black woman. And everyone on that panel explained to Bex that her putting in her 2 cents is literally confirming that the fact that you feel like you're entitled to a conversation about interracial relationships, you're proving the point. Because prior to Loving versus Virginia, this never stopped white people from fucking black people, raping black people, and having black children.
The
Also,
conversation itself is not the problem. You can
furthermore,
have the
though,
conversation, but when you start to try to speak on whether or not, oh, I'm not tokenizing, well, that didn't happen. When Black people are talking about their experience, that's when it becomes the problem. Sometimes people do feel like they gain entry to a conversation based off of who they know.
That's
That
a
is the
fact.
problem, not the
That's a fact.
conversation itself. Because, yes, you have a certain perspective as the white woman in the relationship, but you do not have a perspective from Black people. And you did say, oh, this is my moment to tokenize my Black boyfriend. You thought that joke was going to land, and it didn't. It just didn't fucking land. It was inappropriate. So if somebody is calling you out on how that was inappropriate and how it wasn't conducive to the fucking conversation, just fucking own it.
And if you're gonna be with a black man, to be honest, Bex, you're gonna have those moments. Just
I'm
comes with the
sitting here having the
territory.
moment, aren't I?
I mean,
Like
I
I have these
commend you, but
moments.
it
I have
comes
these
with the
moments on this
territory. Just
app
letting you
all the
know.
time. I get it. I
It
totally get
took
it.
48 hours and Queen interfering for you to have this moment. So
So
yeah, you need to work on
Ashley,
it.
you're
Oh,
Ashley.
please,
I get
please. I
it.
don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
You fucking come around this
You're
app
full of
trying to make
shit.
me
You're
out to
full
be
of
a problem
shit. The
all the
fact that you
time,
had all those
Ashley.
white people in Nicholas's live kikiing you and rah-rahing you in the fucking comment section is further proof that you're a fucking idiot.
I didn't even know Officer was black. That's crazy. I had many conversations with him. He never mentioned he was
He's
black.
black.
Most people wouldn't know if it wasn't for Bex's fat mouth telling everybody that he's
No, that's
black.
not
She
true. He
just
was
can't
on.
wait to tell
We
everybody she got
met
a
on
black
this app. He was
mandingo.
a black cop when we met. He's told people he was a black cop long before we met. That's how people knew when we started dating.
Yeah, I knew he was Black.
I didn't know. I didn't know that shit. That's crazy. I sure thought he was a white dude.
T-Bone, I don't have access to let people up, so if you don't have a mod
Didn't Bree
that
Zaza just call you babe? I don't know. Like, what they got to do with anything? I ain't fucking her if that's what you asking.
Here, I have mod. I'll do it.
A happy Black History Month to the Black people up on the panel, minus Manny.
Happy Black History Month.
Happy
Mine
Black
is
History
Manny. Oh,
Month.
okay. What the
And
fuck?
speaking on Black history, also just to speak on the white tea women, you are the same women that were, because you are oppressed within your own patriarchal white man society, you upheld racism as well as, so you doubled down actually on oppressing BLK men and BLK women because you had no rights. So you had no choice but to uplift racism. So it's no different now than you were sleeping with the BLK men now. You're doing it now. So anyhow.
And I don't think that the
You
interracial
can
relationship itself is the problem. I think it becomes a problem when people think that their Black partner is the only source of information that they have. And it does come across that way when people have Black friends, Black children, a Black partner. That becomes your only source of information. And people tend to tune out the voices of everyone else. And then it becomes about hurt feelings instead of the facts, which is how we got here. So you saying like, oh, I go through this all the time. Yes, at your own hand, because you refuse to listen to any other opinion other than the Black people that you like. That's when it becomes a problem.
I was
Agreed.
explaining, she said she didn't want to hear me.
also, and stop calling BLK women aggressive when they're stating opinions and speaking. Just because we speak loudly and boldly does not mean we are aggressive. That's just how we talk. It does not mean we lack in IQ or have a low IQ or lack intelligence either. So yeah, I'm just responding to what I heard her saying earlier when you were talking. So yeah, I don't like
No,
that.
that was the other girl. But it do be funny sometimes to listen to people agree with somebody just because they agree with them. Because you did really sit up here and agree with that girl when she sat up here and said all of the microaggressions.
So many.
Why
I
are
also
you
just find it
impacted? Like, what?
funny.
How you going to ask a black woman how she impacted by tokenization of a black person? And you
Also,
sitting
I
over
find
here
it.
yesing and amening.
I just also came off a live where we had a debate about if slavery did not exist, will the white tea woman will be at like a bottom. Not trying to down. I'm not a hateful person, y'all.
I
But it was a
am.
debate. It was pretty much saying would the white tea women be on the bottom of the totem pole because finally, as we know, it'd be okay. Women are more actually educated and have made more substantial moves in society and history when it comes to certain things. Yeah. So without slavery, white tea women would actually, y'all would be at the bottom of the totem pole as far as making any type of. Yeah, that sounds hateful, but I don't know.
No, it don't.
No, it don't sound hateful. I was making that same point earlier. It's the proximity to whiteness that make certain divestors go to their side in the first place. It's the proximity to whiteness. So who has the ultimate proximity to whiteness? White women.
And notice how
Like,
they
let's keep
still
it
use the
100.
same tactics as they did now, like as you say, with the tears and the blonde. This is why they uphold these certain things. This is why we have a problem when y'all try to intrude on dating the men, on being like us. This is why it's such a problem. So I also feel like this is an undertoning, long going thing from previous history when y'all would actually make us cover our hair because you felt offended by it and because your husbands were looking at our hair. So that's also where another form of where the hair route comes from and why we have
Wide
such an
awake.
underlying issue with y'all wear our braids and everything else. So yeah, that's a little history.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm awake.
You just kicked that nigga.
Right.
Kid cool.
No, that's not how
On
T-Bone's panel
birthday.
works. That's not how
On
T-Bone's panel
birthday.
works.
Yeah, let me chill. Shit.
I mean, no, what are you gonna say
Wait, slime
anything?
ball is on
Yeah,
birthday?
when y'all done, shit.
Go ahead, say something.
Is that on
Because if
birthday?
not, there's people in the queue.
You're,
Yeah, that's
you're,
on
you're,
birthday.
Is that on
Yeah,
birthday?
drop him,
Okay, let me
please.
follow him. Why?
No, it's
You just
that's
say
not how
you're
T-Bone's.
you're
That's not how T-Bone's panel works.
Yeah, I'm just trying
What
to
conveniently.
the
say
fuck?
it's Black History Month, y'all. But
I
yeah.
don't. Well. To be
He
fair,
ain't said nothing out of pocket.
to
Why
be.
we dropping?
I mean, birthday. You got something to say about the interracial couples because you seem to be in one with Siren. So, do you have something to say?
yeah, first off, I'm going to say that's not true at all.
Hmm.
I'm not in a relationship with the siren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But ultimately, I feel it had already been said, but I feel that interracial dating can be harmful. It can be harmful if people choose to negate the fact of history. People just try to go on thinking like, oh, well, white supremacy wasn't a thing or never happened. So you'll miss like, and we are, once again, this is already said. I just want to give my time to like talk about it, but you'll miss things like microaggressions, shit like that. So I don't know where I feel. Yeah, in regards to like white people speaking about it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay,
So,
my turn.
so does it? Oh wait, does it bother you with the white women that you cater to when they're microaggressive to black women? Does that not bother you?
Well, I'm gonna answer the first. I don't think I cater to white women.
Don't want.
I didn't say cater. I said center.
Oh, center. I don't think I center either.
Well, I think you do. So, can you answer the question though? It's a yes or no question.
I don't think I do.
That wasn't the
That wasn't a
question.
question.
What was the
He
other
said,
part of the
does it
question?
bother you when white women are microaggressive to black
It's
women?
not a question. The
Oh,
white women that you center, when they are microaggressive to the black women, does that bother you?
and I'm answering the first part because that's not true. I don't.
It's not
Just
a
answer the
I don't let
question,
question.
the white
It's a
Ladies.
women censor.
statement.
Like,
Hold on. It's
wait,
not a question. It's
but
not a
I'm
question.
trying to
It's
answer
a
the question, but
statement.
yeah, but
In
you're
my
asking a question with a
opinion,
statement in front of
you
it, so
censor
I'm
white
tackling that
women
statement first because
over
that's
black
totally
women
wrong.
while they are
So
being
just making the general
racist,
thing because you're making the statement
microaggressive.
about me specifically doing
Why
that.
doesn't that bother
So
you?
like maybe rephrase your question, not making it
I don't
personal
have
toward
to
me.
rephrase my opinion that I said as a statement that is bothering you because you don't see it. But the black women that are around you, the white women that you center that are microaggressive to us, does that not bother you?
I don't center white women, so this question is flawed. I cannot answer it.
The question isn't flawed. Do you feel some kind of way about the white bitches around you, nigga?
I
That
don't
was
have white bitches
microaggression.
around me. I don't have white bitches around me doing this, nigga. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I forgot you the same nigga that was trying to justify somebody saying the N-word. So I'm gonna move on from you.
When did I do that? That never happened. And I got the recording if you're talking about the live that you were in, so stop playing with me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Nigga.
Okay.
If we're gonna have a good faith with me, like come in good faith, don't try to do stupid shit that y'all trying to do with me.
You're annoying.
I'm not trying to do stupid shit. I just asked you a question that you got emotional
Yeah,
over.
with a false statement
With
in
your
front of it.
emotional ass, but it's
Yeah, with a
okay.
false statement in front of it. It was a false statement in front
We
of
know
it.
the
It
truth.
was a
It's
false statement
okay.
in front of it. It was a false statement in front of
We
it.
Anyways,
know
Well, I
that.
will say, on birthday, you have allowed your trolling to paint a picture of you. And I hear you a lot say, like, well, no, that's not who I am. Well, your trolling has put you in a position to look as though you excuse these behaviors around the people that you kick it with on the app,
Who
more
do I kick it with
particularly
on
the
the app
white
that's doing
ones.
this shit? Who do I kick it with? That's doing the shit that y'all talking about. Who do I kick it with? They're doing it.
Sirens, tacos, Andrew. Before Andrew said those racist things to you, you was.
I kick it with these people.
she'll be on your panel when you be making them nasty
I mean, I
ass
thought we was supposed to be having a good
mixtapes.
faith conversation, Bertha. You know
Yeah,
you be
so
around
Andrew, I don't kick it with. Kick it with tacos. What is it?
anymore.
Just because they be in my live?
I mean, that's the only way to kick it on the internet. I'm not saying
Sween, they
you're
do call
besties
you
with
their
them, but
friend. You know, like
yes.
are they your friends?
Because you surely said Siren was your friend many
That's
times.
only that's the only thing. That's the only person I said was my friend.
And even then, she still falls in that category, my nigga. So I don't.
Wait, Tacos is not your friend? Are you saying Tacos is not your friend?
Yo. I already answered the prompt, so all this other shit's other shit.
Okay, so then go back on mute. He's a sleeper. I'm gonna go ahead and answer the prompt. Personally, the way I feel, I don't care how nobody else feel about it. I'm personally against interracial dating. That's how I was raised, personally speaking. I don't date outside my race. I will say personally speaking, and this is like I said, very personally speaking. In high school, I definitely did try to date outside my race, but it was a lot of anti-blackness. Even dating people who are people of color, minorities, it was still a problem with the anti-blackness. So won't be doing that again ever. I just personally feel as if like it's gonna take a long time for people, POCs, to be able to overcome anti-blackness and unpack that. But I feel as if when it comes down to white people, that will also never happen. I feel as if unpacking is something that is going to be infinite. It will never be done. So I'm kind of like against it. If somebody around me wants to kick it with a white person, do you? Whatever makes you happy makes me happy. Ish. Harm wise, I think I had this conversation last night. T-Bone was on the panel in Nick's live, and we were actually talking about this. And I feel as if we have harm when you have white people that are consistently tokenizing their black partners, their black children to insert themselves in conversations where they should not be. Yeah, we should have these conversations about interracial dating and stuff like that, but I feel as if that's just for educational purposes. When we start talking about experiences for black people or black people within interracial marriages or relationships and the experiences of black biracial children, I feel as if that's where the white person needs to take it to the back seat and shut the fuck up. Because at no point in time should they be using the experience of their children or their spouse as a way to barge into a conversation where they have no place in being, because at that point you're just putting on to harm onto the community that your child is into or your significant other is into. Absolute the great nigga, is you wearing lip liner? My bad.
I am so sick of you. And then y'all going to see
No
if it's
poison. Unfortunately, that is the thinness of the mustache atop the lip.
Damn.
and both of y'all went to go.
Oh, it is. Yo.
He look like Tutti Frutti.
Y'all, I do want to let y'all know, I don't know if y'all know my friend Sabal. She goes live about this type of stuff, and somebody was in the live and was like, I wish people could see the beauty. And I want y'all to tell me about y'all take on this. Can you breathe on mute, my nigga? This nigga was like, I wish people could see the beauty in the facial structures of mixed children and the mixed genes, and how does
Oh
that make y'all
hell
feel?
no! And
Who
that's
said that?
racist. That's racist.
He was
Who said?
a white guy,
Oh, he
and
probably was just fucking trolling.
no,
But I
he
do.
was actually dead serious. He thought that his girlfriend was like what he called a Wasian. He thought that she was a Wasian at first. She's purely
I mean, there's
Caucasian.
really not much we can do without him here. But I do want to touch on something that actually did happen on this panel. I think that if you say that you stand for a particular community, whether somebody is agreeing with you or not, if you hear them using microaggressions or being racist in order to agree with you, don't you think you should say something? Or is the agreement more titillating than actually doing what you say you stand for?
Well, I'm sorry. Can you repeat what you said?
I think you should say something. And if
Thank
they
you.
fuck with you like they say they fuck with you, then they will be receptive.
Even if you
If
don't
they
know
not
them, you see what I'm
receptive, they
saying?
just say,
Exactly.
no. She said somebody you said you fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that you say is your friend. If they use a microaggression, you should be the first one to speak up and let them know, hey, that ain't cool. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? If they
I'm
really
thinking
your
even on
friend, they gonna be
panels, right? Like when
receptive.
people come up here and they might have, a particular opinion, and their opinion may be, for one particular person on the panel. Just because someone is agreeing with you, if they're agreeing with you by being microaggressive or racist, like, do you want that agreement?
No,
Nah.
I don't know if
No.
that question was for everybody, but I think personally,
I think
no.
the
No, it
question
does.
was for
Hell no.
Bex, but
No, anybody can answer, but I am still thinking about that conversation.
Right,
Because
but
at
what
the
did you
end of the
want? Did you
day,
want me to interrupt you and overspeak you to
this
call?
was
Like,
before I got here.
what exact situation are you talking about? The girl?
When, yeah, because originally she was talking directly to Ashley, and I seen her give her opinion on what she
To be
thought.
fair
Right, but
though, Beck
I
said
don't
she
know
don't know
that
that
girl.
girl.
You don't have to know somebody.
Right, but other people were calling her out. Did you want me to interrupt and say like stop defending me? What did you want me to
No,
do?
not as a white woman, because then you get into the whole savior
That's what I'm
complex,
saying. Like
and
other people
yeah,
were dealing with it. What do you want me to do?
Oh my
I
God.
think you could have still said something.
you could have
But
even said it in the
if I
comments.
interrupted
You
Ashley
could
and
have said it in the
Queen and
comments. You could
said
have
this
said
is
I mean,
something.
but that's how I
microaggressive, then
know
I would
she
have been
don't know her, because she
overspeaking
said it in the
people.
comments. She said, I don't even know this
Manny, you're
girl.
not
Yeah, I
helping.
said in the
Like she
comments,
can
I said
talk for
I don't
herself,
even know
No, I
this
Manny.
mean, what's true
girl.
is what's true, though. I'm not
But
gonna
that's
sit
what I'm
here and
saying.
lie
It
just
can be
so.
true, but it's fucking annoying. Just let her talk.
But that's not true though.
God,
If you
just let her
sitting,
talk.
no. See, this is my
No,
thing,
I
right? If
never
we trying to
accused her
make
of
a
knowing
scenario,
her.
no, she didn't say that. I agree with you. You absolutely didn't say that. OJ Pimpson. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but the whole premise was if you know this person and your friend is being not your friend or your acquaintance, I guess, is being microaggressive towards black women, but she did say I don't know this girl. So like
No,
I
I
don't know.
didn't make the statement of if they knew each other. I said if somebody's agreeing with you on a panel, I
Mhm.
feel like, if you interrupt to comment on the points that she's making, then you could have interrupted and been like, hold on, I ain't say that shit. Because it was making it seem as though you guys was high-fiving each other when she was like, oh my God, move on. It's so stupid. Like, how does it impact you? How does it bother you? And now it became
Mhm.
about your relationship in particular instead of about the points that was being made. Tokenization of a black person is going to affect all black people, etc. So
I
to
agree
make
with
it
that.
just about Officer and yours relationship was not the point. And
She
it
can't
was not
help it.
helping that was where her point was going. And you were agreeing with like, yeah, this always happens. It wasn't about that. But those types of jokes that can be, what's the word?
But the
That can be
conversation we
harmful.
were having, Ashley and I were having a conversation about specifically Officer and I. That's why I said she doesn't like him because he's a
Girl,
cop.
stop. Before we
That's
had an
literally what the
officer
conversation
be brought
was.
up, you brought him up. Did I ever bring him up?
Ashley, I don't care.
No. I needed an answer. I needed a
Okay,
fucking
Ashley,
answer at
because
this
you haven't
point.
been honest
Because you're
about the
making it
whole
seem like we've had this
conversation at
whole
all.
conversation about officer
That's
and about
why
him
in
and being
Nick's
a black
live, that's why
officer.
in Nick's
I
live,
need you to answer my
we stopped
question
playing the
because this
recording
is
because you
stupid at
got
this
caught
point.
already
You
in
brought
not
him
being
up.
correct.
No. Did I
Like
bring
you can
him
be
up
mad
or
that I
did
brought him
you?
up. You can be mad that I brought him up. I don't care. I still stand by what I
And
said in
that's
the
the harm.
debate.
And that's the harm. And that's the
Yeah, I
harm.
think you should. I mean, I think you should care because this is where I was going with my point. I think it can be harmful when, like I said, if you're using your partner, friend, kids, whoever in your life is black as your only resource, what they agree with or what they think is funny, you should still use your own judgment when you're amongst everyone. So
Was
even
using my
if,
own judgment. I only brought him up because of a police conversation. It wasn't about
yeah,
the
and that's
interracial relationship stuff. She said she made a comment about specifically black police. I said you are incorrect. I made a joke that didn't hit. Fine. That's fine. That's acceptable. That's an opinion. Great. But what I'm
An
saying is
it's
the
opinion.
really
It's
information
not
she
an
provided
opinion
problematic.
though,
was
and I
still
think that's
wrong.
where
It's
the
problematic. That was the
problem lies is
problem.
that it's not an opinion. And I think,
Yes, it is. It is
no,
an
it's
opinion.
not. It's really not. And the fact that you think that it's just an opinion, I'm not commenting on whether or not I like your shirt.
Okay, fine.
And
So I made a racist joke, right? Let's just leave it at that, right?
But this
It's
is
You were
kind
not
of
being
talking
gay
about
that you
what
were
racist.
you
ready
have.
to
Okay,
Hold on, wait, wait,
dissemble
for
that
the
you
sake of
had a bill of
conversation, well, I have to
wait,
be able to
participation.
wait. This
respond.
is
I have
the
to be able
wait.
to
This
yeah,
is
respond.
the
but you not even
problem.
letting
So
me
so
finish
you
my
guys,
point, and
right? So
I
you
never
guys,
called
I'm
you any
trying to
of those
clarify.
things.
I'm trying to clarify, right? So the problem is I made a comment that people don't like, correct?
You made a comment
Kind
that
of.
was
Yeah, it
harmful
was
Right.
altogether.
microaggressive.
So
It
I
was
can't
Correct.
go back and
microaggressive.
take that comment back, right? So it is what it is. It stands.
You can take ownership to the fact that you're being fucking racist instead of
Okay.
taking
Then
a
I was
whole
being
24
racist. All right. Then I
hours.
was being racist. There you go,
And then the
Ashley.
fact that you're being dismissive in this conversation instead
No,
of
because
having
this is
empathy.
not the conversation. Like there's a much bigger conversation that was happening
Oh,
than this,
yeah.
and you're making it about this comment. And that's fine.
Oh,
That
just
comment
like
was
you were
racist.
hyper
All right,
I
fixated on the
think
Bex is a
that
fucking
I think
racist.
that
book.
All
there's
right.
two different
Bex is a
conversations happening.
racist.
There's two
There
different
we go.
conversations happening, babe. We
There
don't have time
is.
for
And
you
she's
being. We don't
talking
have time
about
for you
this.
being whiny. Okay,
And
but
I'm
I'm
talking
not.
about a
I'm
different
not, and I was
conversation.
the one that was talking, and you're talking over me.
Right.
I never piggybacked off of what Ashley is saying. Her perspective of what you said, being personal, doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is absolutely on topic. It is harmful when people believe that what they're saying is not impactful to the entire community just because the black people in your life don't find it to be a problem. So if you don't educate yourself outside of the black people that you have in your life, these types of issues is what people run into. It doesn't matter if he think it's funny. It doesn't matter if your homegirl, your best friend, your granny, whoever in people's lives are black. If they do not have problems with these comments, I feel like the white person in the relationship needs to know better whether or not that person is telling you something else. if you continue to use the black people in your life as the only source of resource that you have, then we end up in these types of situations where it's like, oh my God, you're being very dismissive about it. When it's not just about the conversation as a whole. It doesn't matter what the rest of the context of the conversation was. That statement was out of line, out of pocket, and it was not necessary. And to try to take away from
All
the
right.
fact that it wasn't
It was
necessary
an
and that
unnecessary racist comment. I apologize.
That's such an insincere apology. And you cut her off for that bullshit.
but then if somebody start
What the
hollering, then she
fuck?
gonna feel attacked. And I don't have time
Uh,
for it. I
And
really
it's
don't. Because it was more on topic to start a different line of topic instead of it being just about you. I'm talking in general. That's an example of what I am saying, but I'm not talking about what you said to you specifically. I'm talking about in general. These types of issues are issues because sometimes the black person in that person's life is the only resource that they have. What's not clicking?
I don't know. I think this is the reason why we keep seeing these interracial topics. These need to be had because I just don't understand how is it that you can say something and I feel like the message is very clear. I just feel like you just really don't give a fuck. And honestly, with the way that you have been dismissive of what somebody's saying, okay, well, I made a comment, it still stands, it is what it is. This is why we feel the way we fucking feel. Like, that shit was really fucking weird. The fact that you want to be with a black man and you said some out of pocket shit and black people are correcting you and you can't take, like, you can't even take correction is a fucking problem. Do you want to give an insincere, dry ass apology? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Y'all white bitches be white bitching every day, I swear to God. Then you up here trying to make it seem like talking about, girl, you're not a fucking victim. Then you trying to, girl, don't piss me off, please.
it was, you don't even know, Poison. There was a number of things that were said last night that I found extremely problematic. And the fact that when Ligma would say racist shit, Bex wouldn't fucking buck. But then when I had something to say about interracial relationships or just in general how I feel about white people, Bex was ready. Like I said, for instance, that I strongly encourage conversations with Black people about not dating interracially, specifically, more importantly, with white people. And she said, oh, well, what if I said that? If white people went around and said that to white people, that would be a problem. I'm like, that's not equivalent. And the fact
That's
that she,
true, though.
like, what?
What?
That's true. Like, okay, the way
It's
you were
because
talking
it's
last
not
night,
equivalent.
what
It's not
I said to
equivalent.
you, well, but what I said to you is true. If I said the things that you were saying, if I said I go around and tell white people they shouldn't date outside of their race and all these things, I said those are white supremacy talking points. That's what I said. They are. This is exactly what white people used to say about interracial relationships.
So what? So I'm sorry. This. Oh, bitch.
That's I was trying to get to that, but it was Nick's live. I knew we weren't gonna get there. We were
You
never
know what
gonna
I want
get
to
No, that
say,
was
there.
Well,
on that was on
Bexy?
I will
T-Bone Live.
say that I
No,
That
I'm
will
was on
talking
say
about
the
T-Bone Live. I
type.
was there.
after. I'm talking
Yeah,
about after Manny just now,
but
like
but
an
either
hour
way,
ago.
I think that I think that the type of separation that black people or even people of other races that are not white talk about when it comes to white people is completely opposite of the type of separation that white people were trying to implement.
Oh, it
I'm
was
not.
clearly
I'm
incorrect.
Yeah, like I'm
Right,
not
and then
sure
she
how they would
also was
ever
trying
be
to.
analogous because there are several black people amongst our communities that do believe in separation. And when I
Well,
hear white people say like, "Oh, well, that's exactly where we were before," no, it's not. It's a totally different type of separation, and it's based off of how y'all act, not the same type of, "Oh, we hate white people. They stink. They monkeys. They
Yeah.
this." So if you don't recognize that, and when white people say, "Well, what if I said that?" You've already lost the conversation. You've already lost me. Because if you
Queenie.
ever compare the things that black people say in response to white supremacy as, well, what if we said that to y'all? Then you are
That's not
completely,
even an art. Yeah, it's not an
you,
argument.
you, you don't even have a leg to stand on in the fucking conversation.
I think
This
it's
would
not
be
an argument
blowing
because
me.
they've already said it. Like
But
Correct.
historically,
but
they've already
Manny,
Yes.
said it. You know what I mean?
Manny, did
Like,
I not?
and
Manny,
enact
did
and
I
woke
not
acted
yesterday
on that
also
shit.
bring up segregation and separation
And
Yeah,
are
we
not the
still
definitely
same
acting
talked
on
thing?
about
it.
that. I was just gonna say a minute ago, we both made that exact same point last night, and I
Right.
guess it kind of flew over their
And
head because
also,
the
who's to
only
say that
person who was
she's not
listening was Drew.
trying to trigger
We
people
both
purposely?
made that
Because I
exact
really
same
feel like
point.
that's what the underlying undertone that you have, that you really just pulled that out. I wasn't on here earlier, but I just feel like you pulled that out like the token joke thing as to like a triggering thing in a way, or just to make it look, then you can then pull back and be like, oh my God, I'm the victim. And that's the same YT woman stuff that we talk about. Because
No, yeah,
earlier you
she
used the
absolutely
term,
tried that.
she used
She,
the
because I've
word,
said
yeah,
comments
hold on, let me
about him
finish.
before. Yeah.
She used the
Literally never
word
called myself a
bullying.
victim
I'm
ever.
talking, Bexy. You used the word bullying.
She didn't. That
And
was the
I
other
did
also
not.
you
girl.
I did not
centered
use that
it
word. The other
and
white
No,
you
she
woman
did
did.
didn't.
say
I
that.
did
You
not
actually
say
No,
that.
she
did. And
did
I
now
not.
you
did
have no
not say that.
There
integrity
The
was the
other
other
white
because you
girl.
are
She
woman
did
did.
lying.
not.
See,
I
I'm
She
did
did
a
not
person
not.
say
that's gonna
that.
call you out on your BS. You're
I
She
did
did
lying.
not.
not say
I
that.
There
did
was the other
not
girl. It
say that.
The
was.
other
The
girl
other
said
white
that
woman
to
did.
me. To me. She said it to me. Bex did not say that.
I just don't understand how
Oh my God. Sorry for that.
I just don't understand how we're gonna try to compare white people saying not to date outside of their race because of eugenics and compare that to generational trauma. In what world do you have the right to ever compare that because of words? In what world do you
And I think
ever
that's what
have the
Manny
right?
was trying to explain before he was interrupted. I don't even fool with him, but I did want to hear what he had to say.
I kind of don't.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's Black History
basically the
Month.
idea. And because the thing about it is white people have already said these things. You know what I'm saying? And they
Correct.
created a whole system behind it. So it's like I just responding to what we got to go through on a daily basis when dealing with white supremacy is not the same thing as you actually being a white supremacist. Like it's just not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we was making that point last night, and I feel like it was flying over people's head because we live in a system of white supremacy. If it was reversed, right, and black people were saying, "Oh, they smell like monkeys," like let's put them in zoos and shit like that, and you actually got put into a zoo, then maybe you would be able to understand it because that's exactly what the fuck they did to us. So, your words hold a little bit more because of the simple fact that y'all can enact racism, whereas black people can't participate in racism whatsoever. So, like,
And I
that
don't
whole
understand
idea
why the
of black
point
people
can't be
can't be
made.
racist, the whole idea of black people can't be racist because it's y'all system. Like, I still think white people don't get that sometimes. Like, they just don't understand it. But
They don't
no,
want to.
if
That's
you
what
don't
I'm
have
trying
this.
to say, Manny. Like, why
Well,
would
of
you
course
get
not. They don't
offended
want to
by
because then they got to look at themselves and reevaluate
correct?
who they are.
And
You know what I'm
that's when
saying?
the
So, like,
problem comes in because I made the analogy yesterday on the topic that if you riding on a flat, right? Because T-Bone made a point and said that he feels like black people should set up the tools for white people to be able to unpack. And I said, absolutely the fuck not. We did not teach them how to be fucking hateful and racist. Why the fuck should I unteach you? Absolutely not. So I made the analogy that most new cars come with a spare and a jack in the trunk. So if you riding around the streets and everybody is trying to stop you and tell you that you have a fucking flat, you have the tools in your trunk. If you don't believe you have a fucking flat, is the fucking spare in the back of the trunk gonna matter? You don't think you
I
need
see
it.
your analogy. I see it.
You don't if you don't think you need the tools, what the fuck good is it? The tools have already been there. Black people have been saying, hey, this is how you should treat us, and white people like, yeah, but not like that. I don't want to be racist, but I'm not listening to what you're saying. No, I don't believe that I did that. Part of the issue is not being ignorant to what you were doing, it's being unable to accept the accountability for what you are doing. Because I believe that people have an idea of what they think that racism is, and you think that you're not living under that. Like, oh, I've never done that. I've never said the N word. I've never called anybody a monkey. You don't have to. When y'all be around petting on black people, touching their hair and acting like we so motherfucking different, like it's some kind of fucking specimen, you don't have to call nobody no nigga.
I mean, we is different.
You don't have to call nobody no nigga when you've already done that. When you walk into a fucking white space and they start asking you shit like, oh, did you see the Young Jeezy concert? Why the fuck you ask me? No,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
hate
that
that type
nigga.
shit.
That'd be so
Stop telling us who the fuck we look like. Stop. You know you look just like Whitney Houston. No, the fuck I don't, bitch. We never be doing that shit. Do you know Brad Pitt? Have you ever seen any of his movies? We don't do that shit. But then if somebody say like, hold on, Susan, you crossing the fucking line, then Susan want to start fucking crying. I have never. And now Susan fucking listing off every black person she's ever fucking
It's
known.
like me going to ask him, do you know Hitler? Did you know Hitler? Did
Hello?
you?
I'm about to start motherfucking asking them that shit when y'all act like y'all can't pronounce people's fucking names. But when you trying to sound smart and you pronouncing shit like Dostoevsky and Tolstoy, that shit roll off your fucking tongue.
I'm asking, so what type of white are you? Are you
Yeah, where are
like
you
the
actually from? No, like from.
Are you
you in
No.
from Slovakia?
America?
Are you from Russia? Like, where are
Florida? Oh my
you?
God, I would have thought something else. Your name is so exotic. What is it? Joshua? Wow. Do you have
Wow,
a
oh my
nickname? I'm
God.
gonna call you JoJo.
Yeah.
And then if somebody say like, hold on now, that's crazy,
Oh no, JoJo sounds way
right?
better. JoJo sounds way better.
When you talk loud, like the girl that was up here, she was the one who said bullying. But she don't want to
Oh, okay.
recognize how her tone was coming off and how when they thought Ashley was up here by her fucking self, it was not a problem. Nobody was gonna stop and say, hey, we might be jumping this girl. But as soon as I come up, it's like, oh my God, what the fuck? Yes, absolutely. Why am I loud and aggressive and you not? But then it always baffles me how we all have the same social media, we all have the same news outlets, and not once in all of my years have I ever seen a black person rolling around on the floor at Victoria's Secret hollering that they in danger because somebody is filming them for something that they actually fucking did.
That
I
part.
remember that video.
That was crazy.
What
She said,
is
I
happening and what is
heard
happening in
It's
y'all
the lack
homes
of
She
with
got a full fucking
accountability.
breakdown.
Let me show you an
a full
example.
fucking breakdown?
Let
Maybe
me
they
show
be in
you an
the
example. There was a YT woman who went over to Africa
Oh,
and killed
shit.
over 800 black African children. They gave her a Netflix show.
yeah, like I don't see how y'all don't see that, right? But
She didn't have no
I know where it
accountability.
comes from. It
They
comes
gave her
from,
a
well,
show.
I don't act like that, but y'all do. And so my point of saying it is, and I'm gonna land my plane. It's not the same type of separation when black people recognize that sometimes it feels like a lost cause. Sometimes it feels as though there really isn't a conversation to be had because the starting point never kicks off into a full conversation because white people do not want to first recognize how they have been harmful. Just because you don't know anybody that owns slaves or you say that you don't does not mean that you did not contribute to white supremacy. And thinking that slavery is the only form of racism that has happened in this country is crazy. Just because you feel as though you don't come from a lineage of people who say the Hardy or wore white robes does not mean that you're not contributing. Existing is fucking contributing, and the fact that people have so much pain behind hearing that is why the conversation can never start. So for us to actually say like, you know what, I don't want to deal with it, if that's offensive to a white person, then you absolutely have no fucking room to comment on anything. You just got to shut the fuck up and keep listening, because if you cannot get past that part of the conversation, you will never be the person that you envision yourself to be. And it's very hard to hear, but y'all do not be where the fuck y'all think y'all are. Y'all's intelligence and emotional intelligence level do not be where the fuck you think it is. You are not as good of an ally as you think that you are, because you can never move past the fact that somebody is telling you, hey, that shit that you said or did, bitch, that's exactly what the fuck we be talking about. So choosing not to have white friends because we tired of talking to you motherfuckers is not the same kind of separation that y'all was trying to implement on us. So if it offends you that black people say that they don't want to fuck with white folks, then fix it. But y'all be so fucking mad and want to bogart y'all way into fucking black relationships, and we say, hold on, I'm not really feeling you. Then y'all start crying. So you can't have it both ways. You can't be microaggressive and racist and then cry when black people don't want to be around you. And I know a lot of black people who refuse to fucking have any type of white friends or dealings with white people because it's too fucking exhausting.
It's me. Yeah.
well, premium?
Baby, I talk to white people on the internet. I don't have no white people in my real life. I'm sure I hate to tell y'all that.
Now that is true.
I
That is true. The only white
That's
people
true
that
with me, except for the in-laws that I have to be around.
I ain't gotta be around no white folk. Promise you that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. The only white people I could say I actually deal around would be the premiums. And if I had to consider in person, you know what, never mind. But I wanna say two things. I wanna say something and I wanna ask Bex a question. I feel as if When we having these types of conversations, white people need to come into the conversation knowing that they are going to be uncomfortable. You are going to get uncomfortable because the things that we have to say to the white community, it is very unsettling because of things that we have had to go through. So if you are not prepared to get uncomfortable, if you are not prepared to have to get a harsh reality, stay the fuck about these conversations and stay the fuck away from black people. Because if you're not ready for the fucking truth, you ain't ready for shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know it sounds radical, but people got to be prepared to be unalive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff that's happening is not happening because people are actually being aggressive and people fearing for their lives is because you're no longer in compliance. You have to be able to understand what comes with not being a good white anymore.
And
Because
then
once you become a so-called ally, which we have seen this in the Jim Crow era and prior to that, anybody associating with trying to provide refuge for was seen as just as much of a nigga, a monkey as the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
And some of y'all not ready for that. Some of y'all do not know how to handle that. And some of y'all will never put yourselves in that position.
Exactly.
That's
So
a
you
fact.
can never be no ally. If you are not okay with your white community turning its motherfucking back on you and seeing you as a tainted vessel, you ain't with it.
That's a fact.
You
Let
ain't with it.
me ask a question. Bex, do
What's
you
up?
consider yourself an ally?
No, I don't. I don't like that word. I don't think it's something that people should call themselves. I actually think that most of that is just bullshit. Most people who call themselves an ally are just doing it on the internet because most people will not actually say their real opinions and feelings on the internet. They'll say what people want to hear to be deemed as safe. But as I've said many times on these panels, some of the most harmful people I've ever known outwardly call themselves allies and are like in interracial relationships and or have mixed kids and are extremely problematic. But on the internet, they would say the right thing and refer to themselves as an ally. I think the whole ally thing is just a way for people to like not
Now, let me
actually.
ask you this. What do you recognize in these white people that you just named that you feel set apart from?
I don't set myself apart from them. I didn't say I'm apart from them. I just said I've seen those people do some really egregious shit.
No, well, I'm asking based off of previous conversations because there has to be some delineation between those people that you named and yourself because you typically don't see yourself that way if
Right. So
someone brings
I
it to your
I
attention.
I firmly believe that what I say, what people say on the internet is fake. The internet is an illusion, right? Like I believe certain values that I live by. And am I right all the time? No. Am I still a white woman? Yes. Am I going to make mistakes and have problematic behavior? Absolutely I am. That's part of life. We're humans. We're not perfect, right? I'm heavily against like the perfection thing because nobody's perfect. If someone, especially a white woman on the internet, appears perfect and only says the right things, I promise you, give me 30 minutes with them and I will get them there because most of those people are fake, right?
Let me
In
ask.
my daily life, I do certain things that I believe are correct. I'm going to continue to do the things that I believe are correct, but online, it's all an illusion.
So I do want to say, number one, please stop saying mix. And number two, what exactly do you think that you're doing to like unpack? Like, what exactly do you think that you're doing for that?
I don't know. I'm not going to sit and go through like a whole
Um,
Nothing.
conversation
That
Absolutely
of
didn't
what I
answer
nothing.
my
do and what
can
a person
question
I
was.
feel
in
like
the
we're
slightest.
here for a
I,
certain
I heard that.
agenda.
That's what I was saying, Queen. Hold on, y'all. You didn't answer the question though.
Right, but I didn't call myself an ally. So like I'm
No,
not
You
referring to
don't have to
myself
be
as
an
an
ally.
I
ally.
use
I've
that
never
term just as
like
just
if
to
people
kind of
I'm a
sum it
white
up.
woman.
Like it's
I'm
not an
gonna be
actual
problematic.
title.
Like
Yeah, but
that's
when I
just what
say
it is.
ally, I'm not actually providing a title to anybody. It's just for lack of a better term. I mean, white people. I'm not going to call them pro-black. So that was just me summing up in all encompassing of what a white person would be in order to
Right.
feel as though they're for the community, but that it didn't answer my question because
So
the
what
reason
is
I
your
asked the
question?
question is not just for you, but I do believe that a lot of white people see themselves separately from those who act outwardly in a certain way, right? Like people see themselves differently than Memphis or Haifa or this
Well,
person
do
or that
you okay, so
person.
let me ask you a question. Do you think I am on the same level as Memphis and Haifa?
I think all white people are
Okay,
absolutely.
well then that's the answer to the question. Like
Hmm.
arguably
But I'm asking
if
from a
all
white
white
person's
people.
perspective because I think that a lot
Right,
of
but
black
let
people
me.
recognize that and understand that. And let me tell you why. Because a lot of white people do not want to agree with, and they won't conceptualize the fact that all the black people on this panel, they can agree with me if they feel the same. I have never in my life came across a white person that did not microaggress me or
Never.
microaggress somebody else in my presence. So when you live a life as long as you do, and you've never met a white person that did not have something racist to say, you cannot make a separation between people like Memphis that say the things that they say. But I will also say that in all my life, I've never met people in real life that talk as blatantly as fucking Memphis or some of these people that get up here and want to say hard ER and XYZ, which is why y'all hide behind the microaggressions. Because you too pussy to fucking change and be a bad white, but you also too pussy to just be blatantly fucking racist. So you stand in the middle. And so I'm asking you from a white person's perspective that what do you feel as though sets you apart from people that you can point out as blatantly racist? What do you think that they're doing that you're not doing?
Well, but that's you. But you answered the question. You said we're all as bad as Memphis, right? Like we're
Absolutely.
all blanketed as like white supremacists, right?
Correct.
So then there's no answer to your question because I'm the same as Memphis.
No, it is. I'm asking you from your perspective. That's my perspective as a black person.
Right, but that's
I'm asking you from your
if all
perspective.
white people are white supremacists,
Girl,
right?
she's saying pick a side.
Right, but
No, I'm not saying that at all.
She's not
I
saying.
mean, like,
I've known Queen
what is your
longer than you. She's
stance?
not
What are
saying
you
that.
stance? What is your stance?
I'm just saying that if all white people are going to be in the category of white supremacy, I'm going to do the best I can to not be racist with what I have. But that's what we're blanketed into.
You're
Yes, but
gonna be
that's not my
racist. That's
that's
the
not my
point.
question. Yeah, that's not my question at all. I'm asking you from your perspective because if I maybe not you as an example, I can try to clear it up. There are going to be white people that see other white people acting in a certain way and feel like they are not aligned with them. But as black people, we know that there is always going to be some type of alignment. So I'm asking you as a white person, when do you feel not aligned with the racism that you see happening and the examples that you gave of how you have known white people to be harmful? You know, these fake ass white bitches that be smiling in people's faces, but actually racist behind their back. What makes you feel like you have more education or that you're unpacking better than them? Like, what makes you set
Oh,
apart from
okay.
them
So
when you see your
what sets me
counterparts
apart?
acting crazy?
So I have done very much work in my adult life to have the very uncomfortable, difficult conversations, right? I have tried very hard to make myself uncomfortable with these conversations as much as I can to learn. That's what I do. I'm not in these conversations. Like I've said many times, half the time, I don't even necessarily, I'm not arguing with shit that I even agree. I'm pushing back because I think that the way that we fix what we're in is by having conversations. So I do it.
That's
I
what
get
yeah,
online, I
that's what
make
I'm
it
asking.
uncomfortable, I make other white people uncomfortable, and I try to have the conversation. And I
Girl, you
don't
didn't make
run.
not one white person uncomfortable last night.
Well, I wasn't even allowed to talk very much last night, to be fair.
Yes, you were. You were on mute until you made the joke about officer. You
No,
let
that's
Ligma be
not true.
racist.
That's not true. And the clip is on YouTube and will
Okay.
not show that. That's untrue.
Okay. All right, Pax.
Can
The
I
clip
say
is on
something?
Aqua's channel. I will put Aqua's channel in the comments. It's on there.
Can I say something about you had made the statement that you're not perfect and da 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 da. So, when I hear that, because I am in church and when I am, you know, in this, when I hear it, I hear the scripture. So when when I have learned, when the Bible talks about being, so it's not saying, no, I'm not going to do everything right. And no, I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm going to be mature in what I learned, like what everyone's telling you here, like tokenizing, what's the name, is getting old. So maturing enough to know, like, hey, let me quit saying that. Let me not do that. Let me, let me learn from what they're telling me. And that's where I guess our problem is you get dismissive instead of learning. So that's when you said that you was not perfect. Perfect is equal to maturing and learning and changing and like hearing what you do. I
But
guess that's
I
what
can
I feel
listen
like.
and disagree, right? Like Honey Baby, I have listened to you a million times. just because you say something doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it, right? So it's not dismissive. I don't agree with some of the stuff being said. It's not dismissing it. I'm listening. I'm hearing you, but I don't have to agree.
But not agreeing is the way that people don't change. So it's like the analogy of how racism impacts people differently, and in people who perpetuate it not agreeing that they're doing it. If you don't have use of a wheelchair, you're not going to notice your favorite stores not being wheelchair accessible. So if somebody tells you as the store owner what you can do to make your store more accessible, how can you disagree if you're not in the chair?
Right, but so should I? But this becomes the issue where it's not a monolith, right? And not everybody believes the same thing. So I try my hardest to listen to people's opinions and decide for myself because that's all I can do as a human. But if I talk to 10 different people, those 10 different people are not going to have the same opinion.
And that's what goes back to my previous point when I talked about most white people using the black people in their lives as their only resource, because a
Right.
lot of times you tend to agree with the people that you like. And that is a good point to make, because you also have to be careful of people within the community. They may not always be correct, but you also have to be careful that just because somebody you like does not mean that they are also correct. And that is an issue amongst Black people, especially where you do have Black people who aren't impacted the same way, and therefore they'll be dismissive of it, and the white people in their lives are at a disadvantage because of it. So that is why it does pay for you to have your own education and your own discernment.
Right, which is
Nobody
what I
is
said.
saying
That's
that
exactly what I said. I use
but your own
discernment.
discernment is what got you here, is what I'm
Right.
saying. So what
Right.
else
So
are
now
you
I'm
going to
listening. So
utilize?
I listened to what everybody said. I admitted I was wrong, right? And we're still talking about it.
No, I think this is general. Like the
Oh my
fact that you think
god.
that this is just still about that comment is wow.
I think Queen's trying to bring up the way that you're processing things and you're going about it is not conductive to your growth as somebody who's apparently unpacking and trying to separate themselves from other quote unquote
But I
over
never said I was
races.
unpacking.
Why are
You
you
said
cutting
that.
me
You asked
off?
me because
Why
you
are you
asked me
cutting
how
me
I'm unpacking.
off?
I never claimed to be like any of these things. You're
Why are you
assigning things
cutting
to
me
me.
off? Queen asked you, what are you doing to unpack? And you said you're listening, you're a part of conversations, and you're trying to further your education, whatever the fuck you said. Now, in that whole conversation, you brought up the fact that you're having these conversations and there's going to be opinions specifically coming from Black people that you're not going to agree with. Instead of having opinions on what Black people are saying or not, you should use what you heard to again take in and do further research and further unpack, because clearly, I mean, the fact that you are so like wrapped up in being called out in this conversation, or even like being categorized as racist equivalent to a fucking Memphis, is to me like, I don't know, it blows my mind that you're like you're more upset with being referred to as a racist than with
I'm
racism
not upset
itself.
at all. I'm not upset at all.
Then why would you cut me off?
Because like what you're saying, so I didn't say what you said I said. Queen asked me a question. I actually at first said something totally different and I was pushed to answer the question. Right? So I answered the question with
Pushed?
what I do.
Or were you
Yes.
just
Everybody said
dancing?
you're not answering the question. My answer
Yeah,
was
you
not enough.
weren't.
Yeah, because I asked, so are we all like Memphis? And I was told yes. All white people are as bad as Memphis.
Yes.
Right. So that's not me saying I'm the same as Memphis. That's me being told, right? So I said, okay, well, if we're all the same as Memphis, like, where's the conversation in this?
Okay, what research have you conducted to make you believe that it's not? Like, we're telling you this is our experience.
Well, I
What
know
have you done?
I believe that they're well, it doesn't matter what I believe, honestly.
No, no, it's not about believing. What research have you done? Because we are living an
What do
experience.
you want me to read you a list of books I've read? Like, what do you want, Ashley?
No, I want you to show me where in your research does it say that there are levels to racism.
When did I say there was levels to racism?
Well, you're putting Memphis on like tier 1 and you're like on tier
No,
10. I don't know.
I asked if there's a difference. That's all I asked.
All
I'm
right.
not inserting anything.
Correct, Ashley. The reason why I asked you that question is because when you were speaking about the allyship and you were saying, like, you know what? I have had experience with the people that talk like this are really like this. And if you give me 5 minutes with this bitch, I promise you she'll spill her guts. You talked about them as if you were not them. And so I always ask white people when they talk about racism, why do you see yourself as separate? And that
I
is
don't.
exactly the answer. Ashley is correct. Whether you are doing it purposefully, or and when I say you, I'm talking about white people as a whole. Whether they're doing it intentionally or conscious of it, white people do tend to grade racism on a scale. And that's why I always ask white people, why do you feel as though you are different than Memphis? And I'm using Memphis as an example because we've all seen him, right? Why do you see yourself separate? And it is because of that. That is an actual fact, is that people tend to use racism on a scale and grade who they think is the worst of the worst. And that is why microaggressions tend to be more difficult to discuss, because people do believe that, well, I am not saying hard ER, that it is absolutely on a grading system. And that's why it is hard sometimes to start the conversation, because a lot of white people come into the conversation believing that there is a way to be less racist, when Black
And
people have been saying for centuries that the microaggressions lead to the things that people think are the worst of the worst. People love to use the story of Emmett Till as an example, but they fail to also point out the part of the story where the microaggression led to the end of his life. So how are we going to gauge the ending of his life as a racist act, but not gauge the microaggression that ended his life as just as equally as racist? They're the same. There is no levels to this shit. You do not get to place yourself on exactly like Ashley said. There is no level 1, level 2, level 3. These ain't misdemeanors.
I personally would like for you to share the joke that you made to me about officer, so everybody can have an understanding, and then you can understand how saying the N word and making a joke like that is equivalent, because it's still harmful regardless. You're perpetuating this normity of referring to or treating Black people this way.
Ashley, it's on YouTube. I get it. I'm wrong.
No, I think you should share. I think you should share for the context.
Well,
If you supposedly like uncomfortable conversations about race.
And we had it, and it's on YouTube.
No, I think you should share.
What do Gunny have to say?
Um, they're commenting, but they're not saying anything.
Okay, no, I was just trying to give them an opportunity to talk.
So this is like a thing that you do debate on this topic, Bexy? I'm new. I'm just coming into this. I don't know. Oh, should I?
No, Mimi, nobody is talking. Okay. What bad info? I maybe missed something, Bex.
Conversation was started because Ashley said something about police, and specifically Black police, and I was like, you're not giving the correct information. And then it turned into, because my boyfriend is a Black police officer, I was tokenizing him instead of trying to correct the information that she was giving.
Tell us the joke.
Well, we
Yeah,
heard
I
it.
asked,
We've all
because
heard
everybody
it.
always says I tokenize my Black cop boyfriend, and I said, well, can I tokenize him now? Because this is information that is incorrect.
Was it incorrect based off of what you know about the profession, or was it incorrect
It
because
was
you were
incorrect
speaking
based
at?
off because him and I have extensively talked about this topic with stats, facts, and information. Because if you remember, when we came into this, I didn't like cops. So this was something we talked about extensively for fucking hours, and the information was
Well, that's
incorrect.
not what I'm asking. I'm asking which part were you correcting, about cops as a profession or about black cops specifically?
As cops as a profession.
Okay.
This is so stupid.
I can't really
Right.
say because I don't know exactly what the conversation was or what even the context of it. But I just know what I came in on about somebody. I heard somebody
Is this
saying,
Miss Lovely?
I don't think it's Miss Lovely.
I do. It is.
It is. Is that Miss Lovely?
I think so.
Are you Miss Lovely?
who
Endow. Is
is Miss
that?
Lovely? Who's Miss Lovely?
Oh,
Another TikToker.
Oh no, I don't know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time up here today. First time meeting y'all.
Oh, hold on. Because Theodore McPhail, whatever the fuck, they're basically trying to use Bex as a whipping post. Mind you, there's a conversation. Bex says to Theodore, "It's fine. I'm a big girl." Like, you
Yes, and then
continue.
Mimi asked me, and then Mimi said, "Do you believe you're on a whipping post?" And I said, "No, but I think Ashley has a personal issue with me." Read the
It's
whole
not even
conversation if you're going to start.
My
It is.
issue, Bex, my issue with you is that you think that you're above it. You think you're above racism because
I
you're
don't.
like getting
I
fucked
don't.
by a black
I
man.
don't.
You think
Stop
that
trying
you're
to
above
put things on
racism
me.
because you're not saying
I
the N
don't.
word.
I've never said that.
I think that you believe
Never
that you're
said that.
above racism because you've
I
read a
don't.
book.
No,
Yeah.
this is all shit you're putting on me. And this is exactly what you do. You come up here, you tell me what I do, you tell me what I think,
I'm
you tell
reading the
me all about
comments. I'm
myself
literally
without
reading the
ever asking a
comments.
single question.
Why did you say it's fine? That's saying that you agree that you're a whipping post.
Okay, cool.
It's not
I mean,
cool.
but
You're
that is
fucking
that. I mean, that
weird.
is true though. That's why I asked the question, because I do think that a lot of white people think that they're above what they believe to be racism. So when things are called out, it's always like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I didn't. It's that. It's like, you
I
know,
didn't say it. I admitted I said it. I've said it
no, I'm
again.
talking about just in general, not about just the comment, because I'm not talking about just the comment when I make these statements. I think it's just an overall experience, and that's the only way that I can explain it, is to really just drive the point that, like, I don't think that there are a lot of black people, and there's people who aren't educated and maybe don't realize it, but those who are unaware of it, I don't think any of us can say that we have never met a white person that has not committed some type of form of racism, whether it be microaggression or other. And so I feel like when white people are having the conversation, they do set themselves apart and they do want to be seen differently. But when someone tells them, like, hey, you're not different, that's when the hurt feelings come in and the conversation is no longer valid. It's no longer able to be had.
Well, my feelings aren't hurt.
That's all you took from what I said.
I'm just saying, like, we could talk about this. We could talk about this all night long. Like, it's fine. I understand. I get the issue. Like,
No, you don't. You're defensive, and the way that you responded again in the comments, and you're like digging the hole deeper instead of like just taking a step back, and instead of taking your emotions towards the fact that I do
okay,
not like
Ashley,
you on a
what would you
personal
like me to
level.
do?
I can.
Would you like me to
I
get
would
on my
like for
knees and
you to
beg you
stop
for
interrupting
forgiveness?
me. I would like for you to stop interrupting me.
Well, what do you want?
I just told you.
Right, you want me to listen, right? Am I here listening?
Clearly not, because you
But
took
why aren't you
everything that Queen
accepting the
just
fact that
said.
Ashley's
I
issue
did
with you is
accept it.
based off of how you act?
Yes,
Like,
I get that Ashley's issue with me is based on how I act. I understand that.
so why keep drawing attention to the fact that, oh, you just don't like me, if you know that it's not just a personality
Because
issue?
I actually do not think it's a personality issue. She does it. She says it all the time. She doesn't like cops. She doesn't like that I'm with a cop, and she hasn't liked me since then. It's fine. I get it. It can be
Guys,
personal.
literally 48 hours ago, we were having a conversation about bees and how I like beekeeping. And I said, I'm going to make amends and I'm going to follow you. Did that not just
Yeah,
happen
because y'all
48
need to
hours
get it
ago?
together before y'all
Yes,
enter into
Ashley,
the
and then we
compound.
debated last night, and then
Right.
you were mad at
Right,
me,
Queen.
right?
And then flash forward to 24 hours later, Ligma is up on the panel with tacos and a whole bunch of other fucking racist people, and Bex wasn't like stopping it at all. And then she makes that comment, and then like it just kept going. Like all of the things that you wanted to stand for, all in the name of what? Your black penis? Like it just
So
it
because
came
so because
off that way.
tacos and Ligma were being problematic, and then I made a
And
joke.
you did nothing.
So what did you want me to do, Ashley?
Say stop.
You were yelling at them. You wanted me to
Okay.
overspeak you?
Sure. Why was Queen dropped?
I didn't drop her.
I know, but I'm just saying, who did that? Did Queen drop or I don't blame her.
Like I don't know what you want me to do here.
I want you to stop having these conversations
That's not
because
going
you're
to happen.
clearly coming from an emotional place
That's not going to happen. I'm
and
going to
you're
continue to have
okay.
conversations.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, Queen.
Right. But that's fine. Like you can want me to stop having conversations. That's not going to happen.
I think,
Go ahead.
Ashley, when you, if you're gonna have the conversation, know when to have the conversation. Know when to interject and say your piece because right now, I mean, you don't have to listen to me, and you're probably not. But as a white woman, the harm, what we're saying, the harm is coming in is white women don't listen, and they do get emotional, and they make it about themselves. And so the black people, they make it about themselves, so
What
we
kind of
can't
claim is
have
that,
a
though?
genuine.
That you're stating because they are of this race, they do this specifically?
I mean, you're interrupting her right now, so you're proving her point.
I'm black,
So
so does that mean black
can I
people do it
finish what
too?
I was saying?
You're a tap dancer. Can you just let her finish?
Do you mind if I finish?
Well, I thought you said we had to know when to interject.
Okay. Never mind. I don't feel like arguing.
I mean, you literally said it. I don't believe because somebody is of a certain race, they specifically do this, and there would be no way to ever prove that all people of this race do this specifically. Interracial dating really isn't a problem because almost everybody does it, depending on how you define interracial.
Crickets.
Yeah, no.
What do you want me to step in and say, Ashley? Gunny, you're wrong. You're wrong, Gunny. Stop talking.
What was her
First of all,
argument?
I ain't said a word, but if you want me to,
No.
I can.
Does anyone believe interracial dating is a
I
problem?
wasn't looking at the screen.
Yeah, it can be a
you're
problem.
incorrect.
It can be.
It is a problem.
Well,
It
okay,
can be,
you're saying
definitely.
hold on. You're saying it is a problem regardless of situation or anything.
What is
No.
situation we're regarding?
I'm saying so. If you're saying it is, you're saying like regardless of the situation, it's a problem.
It's been what level we're speaking of.
Every level of interracial dating.
Okay, I'll start with one.
Usually.
It's a problem when
I don't want it to be specific. Are you saying
I'm
for all of them?
finishing. You just said I will start with one. You said on every level. So I'll start with one and I'll throw one out and you can respond. So first, it's a problem when YT women or YT men feel like they can intercede on certain intimate conversations within the BLK community that do not pretty much deal with them and they have nothing to do with. That's when it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem when YT or YT men start to tokenize BLK people.
So then, is it wrong for me to ever have a conversation about children in Asia who are being overworked because I'm not a child in Asia and I have nothing to do
We're
with
not
them?
talking about that. You're talking about like other. That's has
I'm giving
nothing to
you a
do with
hypothetical
this.
that fits what you just
It's
said.
not a hypothetical. This not and it's not do anything with the topic of
What you just said
discussion.
was they are white and they
You're
have
trying
nothing
to
to
make
do with black
argument with some
community.
enslavement over interracial couple that we're talking about here.
I'm not talking
That's
about
the topic.
enslavement.
And you're not even you're
We could talk
diverting
about children
you're
starving.
diverting from what you asked initially.
I'm trying to understand your point by
You
saying
went from on any level to kids in freaking Filipinos or whatever you said.
no. I'm
It
responding to
doesn't make
what you just
sense.
said about white
No,
people in black
respond
communities
to
not being able to say things about black communities. Is it because they are white and that's it?
if you don't get this is what you're not understanding. Obviously, let me
Can
put it in
you
context for you.
can you not explain it to me or like what? That because they are
I
white, they
cannot just
cannot
say
speak
that's
on
what
these
I'm going to
issues?
explain. Stop trying to be a
Trying.
smart behind
Do
and
you
listen.
also believe in the no uterus, no
You're
opinion?
not
Okay,
listening.
and
We're
Dale,
not
I would just
talking
go
about
on
that.
mute. Me personally, I would just go on mute. Me personally, he'll just talk himself out.
Your argument makes no sense. Because they are white, they can't speak on issues within the black community.
Some, right?
Why should an issue be limited to your skin color and not to your information on the
Do
situation?
you have, whether you
Damn.
are BLK or white, do you have something positive to say about, since you're black, I'm guessing you say you're black.
Yeah.
You're black?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, both of my parents
He
are
has a
black as far as I
picture.
know.
He has a picture.
Yeah, that picture is not me. That's comedian Sal and
Oh, we
Patrick
know it's
McGivers.
not you, so we don't know what you are.
Yeah,
So
you
moving
don't have to
along.
know what I
Furthermore,
am. I'm telling you. It's like if I tell you my pronouns are he, him, I would assume you wouldn't address me as she, her.
I know you're not BLK. Anyway, and now
I could cam up and prove I'm black, so.
Prove it.
I'm black, and I want to know.
Yo.
Let me see your face.
I'm straight up and down black, a nigga.
Okay, what you have to say?
And I'm trying to figure out, like, why is it that?
Yeah, interracial dating in itself is not bad.
What is the problem? Because when I love dating out my race, somebody told me to shut my black ass up.
And you guys are
now
limiting.
I'm trying to figure out what's the real problem with it.
You guys are also limiting interracial to white and black, like those are the only races that exist. Pacific Islander and Asian exist. What is the problem with a Pacific Islander getting with an Asian? What makes that harmful? Who's that?
You tell us.
And then you guys are saying that they can't speak on it. I've been in my relationship for over 20 years. That doesn't mean that means my girl can't say nothing about my nigga ways. I think that's crazy. That's blasphemy.
The fact that you're saying nigga ways is crazy. The fact that you said nigga, the fact that you're describing yourself as the N-word is crazy to me.
Yeah, I am.
It's a term of endearment that everybody uses for each other. Why can't he describe himself like that? You hear people every day say, "Oh, I'm the realest nigga out here." So what's the problem? Like that. But the argument that because they are of a race, they have no opinion on something that happens within a community of people of another race, I don't see that making any sense. Validity doesn't come from your birthright, it comes from your information on the topic.
Excuse me, what was that? She did say when it's that certain communities' issues that they shouldn't speak on it. That's what she said. So
this is the thing. If we're going to be completely honest about it, this is the thing.
So
if you're going to
what
be
are the
completely
issues
honest
that
about
they
it, the
shouldn't
people who
speak on? That's what I'm asking.
hold on. May I jump in for it? Because I ain't saying nothing in a minute. Yep. This is the issue when we having this conversation, right? When white people, and we made it specifically about white people and black people on purpose, young man. When white people are speaking about the things that are going on in the black community, the part that they often leave out is that they are the reason why the things that are being propagated in the black community are being propagated in the black community. It's called systemic racism. Systemic racism was created by white people, especially when we're talking about the context of America. Now, when we was talking about interracial relationships earlier, we were saying how some can be harmful because of the microaggressions and stuff that comes was, and basically the nigga pass that some white people think they get by dating a black person. You know what I'm saying? So that's the conversation that we were having. They weren't necessarily saying that all white people this or all white people that. Some people said that, but for the majority, we was like, if you're trying to unpack your shit, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, you can't force nobody to love, or you can't tell nobody who to love and all this types of things. With the things that the sisters was trying to point out is how some of the microaggressions and everything else that comes with being a white person that was raised in America. You just learn this shit. It's like it's programmed into kids very, very fucking early, right? So we can't sit here and act like this is not the truth. So it can be harmful in the black community, especially when white people are having conversations about black people just because they have proximity to a certain black person. So now you trying to the brother was just saying earlier, oh, just because of the color of their skin, you can't say this, but they do it to us all the fucking time. They the ones who created it. So now you trying to turn around and tell us that we can't have the same reaction to what's been done to us for centuries at this point?
Wait,
Come
so
on
if
now,
they
brother, don't
created
even
it,
make no
wouldn't that
sense.
if they created it, wouldn't that validate them having any type of talk in it because they're the reason it's happening? So without them, you wouldn't have anything to talk about in the first place.
Manny, but hold on.
The thing that was. That's
Manny,
not the thing that was said. It wasn't said that they couldn't talk about it. They was talking about tokenizing the black people in your circle.
No, they
that
was
gives you
told
some
that we
type
weren't
of.
allowed to. We were told we
they
weren't
said
allowed
that they weren't allowed to. And also, I want
Not
to
everybody agree with that.
Does
Not
systemic
everybody agrees with that, though.
racism prevent every black person from being equal to every single white person in America?
I wouldn't say that.
So if the system doesn't affect you specifically,
no, the system affects all of us. It's just some people have the proximity to whatever resources they need to be able to get up out of the system.
But, okay, Manny, let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask Manny a
The
question.
system doesn't work the same for both of us, though.
Wait. So if the system
the
doesn't
system
even
affects all black people.
Can I ask Manny a question, please?
Yeah.
Manny, you yourself said white people created this and it's been happening for centuries, right?
Yes.
So at what point did white people create this system? Like centuries?
Racism?
Yeah.
They invented racism.
Hold on. Was it Mendelssohn who started classifying people according to what their skulls look like and their race? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Saying
Yeah,
black people have this type. Yeah, black people have these type of black people have these type of characteristics. White people have the fuck we do.
Wait.
My point. No, I have a point.
Hold on. Let me finish though. You asked me a question.
Let
me answer it. It was a white doctor who came up with that idea. I think it was Mendelssohn. I might be wrong. But black people have these type of characteristics. White people have these type of characteristics. Asians have these type of characteristics. Y'all the ones who sliced us up into different groups.
Not y'all. No, it wasn't back then though.
It was white people. Yeah.
Right. But it was white people at that point. It's not modern day working class white people that created it.
Brown, so you're admitting that
the same systems.
Brown, you're admitting that one person did it and now you're blaming the entire race for it. So is it justifiable for me to say because one black person does this, they all do this? Is that justifiable in any sense?
Let me talk.
No,
one
that's
thing
not
that
the
I have
same thing, and I'll explain why.
And I also wanted to say,
and I'll explain why.
You agree that systemic racism doesn't affect every black person equally, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
So then, how can it be targeted? How is it
person.
based on race then? If it doesn't target the race equally?
Because anytime a white person is let in of space and they find one BLK person that makes them mad, they like to use microaggressions and then go and switch.
Yeah,
so
one white person doesn't speak for an entire system.
But that doesn't even.
That you're saying is created based on race and purely on race, or is the system fueled by more than just race?
I'll tell you why it doesn't affect every black person equally, because not every black person has the same access to resources.
So it's about access to resources and skin color.
Yes, it is.
So then it's not systemic racism, it's also about resources. It's not just about race.
Can we listen?
Say your grandfather.
Wait, hold on.
They listening to respond. They're not listening to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's listening to respond. He's not listening to understand what you're talking about.
Because the way he's saying it doesn't make sense.
I'm telling you, that's why I went on mute.
You can't make the claim that it's racism,
and I'm seeing he just trying to railroad everybody in this conversation. He just gonna keep on talking, right? He's
he
not
already
really
has his
listening to
response
understand what I'm saying. But it's all good. It's all good because first off, you're young as hell. I could tell because you're not even making the points that you think you're making.
Me
And
being young
secondly,
does
every
not
time
invalidate my claims.
no, it does not invalidate your claims. It just proves that it just shows how much you've progressed in life so far. But secondly, everything that I say, you're not even listening to my response. You just trying to respond and off a piece of what I said. You're not catching the full context. Context is everything. Comprehension is everything. So if I say a whole fucking paragraph and you just leech onto one or two little words that I said in that paragraph, that tells me very clearly that you're not listening to me at all, young man.
I'm responding to the parts of your argument that make no sense. Not
No,
your entire argument doesn't make any sense.
You're responding to a piece of an argument. You're not listening to the whole argument because you won't even let me finish talking.
What you said was that the system doesn't affect every black person equally because it's due to resources
and I'll
too.
tell you why the system doesn't affect every black person equally. Say you have generational wealth in your family, which some black families do, then the system is not, or say you live out in the middle of the country where it's just all black people and you don't really come into contact with a whole lot of white people, then the system is not going to affect you the same way as somebody who grew up in, say, a mixed community or the inner city, because these are literally the hubs of white supremacy, right? So if you go to an all-black high school, you know what I'm saying? No, the system is not going to affect you the same, because if you don't have white teachers. But hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
If you don't have white teachers, then there's nobody looking at you like you're not as capable as your white counterparts, because all of y'all black, right? But say you go to a mixed high school, you know what I'm saying, where the teacher is a little bit racist and she think the black kids can't achieve the same as the white kids, then you're going to be affected differently than that person that went to an all black high school. Y'all still both might not get government funding like you need, but the system is going to affect you differently. That's what I'm talking about. Or say you live in an area where there's a whole lot of home ownership, so you got great funding to your school, and then somebody else who's black grows up in another area where they just mostly apartments and government housing, so they don't have a whole lot of funding for their school. The system is going to affect those black people differently, but both of those black people are going to be affected by the system. Do you understand?
Yeah, so it's not systemic racism, it's systemic racism.
It is systemic.
And classism. And classism.
Classism is a part of systemic racism.
It's something separate, though. It's not based on race. Classism isn't dependent on race.
Classism can affect other races, but classism is still a part of racism.
Classism can affect anybody. You don't have to be a race.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Classism can affect other races, but it can still be a part of racism.
No, because classism isn't a part of racism. Racism is discrimination based on race. Classism is discrimination based on class. They're two separate things.
But we have classism within the black community. We have classism within the black community. That's exactly what I was talking about when I say. But I just said, God, good Lord, he's not fucking listening. Classism can affect anybody, but it can still be part of racism, because we have factors of classism inside of racism.
How is classism and racism the same thing?
The classism.
If my father is a doctor and I'm black, then my class is going to be different than if my father is a janitor and I'm black. Correct?
Yeah, well, your race doesn't matter when it comes to your class.
It's a yes or no. Please just answer. It's a yes or no. I'm going to explain it to you if you just listen. It's a yes or no. If I'm black and my dad is a doctor and I'm black and my dad is a janitor, we're from different classes. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when I have an interaction with the police and my dad is a doctor, is my interaction based on, like, because this is how police do it. They look at your address to see where you're from, and they treat you differently based on your address. So if I live in Beverly fucking Hills somewhere, but the other dude grew up in Eastside St. Louis, you're going to get treated differently based on your class, not just your race. Correct?
But is that true?
Saying it's just class, then, if you're saying
classism can be part. So classism can be part of racism.
Yeah, that's not classism.
I didn't say it don't affect other races. I didn't say it don't affect other races. I said it can be a part of racism. Certain black people are treated
because of
like,
what racism is.
If I'm Jadis fucking Smith and I get pulled over on Roxbury Boulevard or whatever the fuck the new avenue is in LA or something like that, and they know who my dad is, I'm going to get treated differently than if I'm just some regular fucking person who get pulled over on the same boulevard. Classism absolutely has something to do with it.
Brown, using your logic, you're saying starving is also a part of racism? Because it affects black people in the black community on different levels.
Is starving a part of racism?
Is starving a part of racism?
I would say it affects black people more than it does white people in America.
But is it based on race or is it based on wealth?
Everything that has something to do with black people is based on race. All of it.
Starving is based on race.
Classism more often than not, classism is tied into racism, because 9 times out of 10, if it's a black person or a person of color in general, and a white person, 9 times out of 10, the white person is going to be of the upper class.
That's not based on their race, though.
No, but
not
it
even true,
still
though.
goes hand in hand.
How does it go hand in hand?
That's not true.
Racism
That
is purely
is
based on
true.
race.
It
Classism is
is.
purely
Oh
based
my
on class.
God. I'm about
it's
to go.
not
Y'all
purely
hurt my
based on
head.
class.
What is classism? Can you give me the definition of classism right now?
You give us the definition of classism.
Discrimination on someone based on class, that being lower or higher than your own.
Okay, so black people are going to be lower. Black people are going to be lower in the class, regardless, in America.
So
And
there's
I don't
no
know
rich
why
black
we
people
are
in America?
acting. I don't know why we are acting as if. I don't know why we are acting as if this is not America's history. Black people are going to be the lowest class.
That's not true. There's plenty of black people in other classes.
That's so not true.
That's not true.
Okay, let me see. Let's not act like it even matters when
we
it comes
talking
to
about GDP per
classism.
capita in general,
Let's not act like it does not even matter if you are Jaden Smith. I'm talking. Let's not act like if they don't care.
Can she talk back? Can she get out what she's going to say back?
I was talking. I said on mute.
After she
started
started
talking, then you start talking again.
After she started talking.
What I was saying was, it does not matter. It does not matter. It does not matter whether you are Jaden Smith or a poor kid in the hood. They are still going to look at you as if you are a you know what. So they don't care if you were in with a chain or you have a darn string around your neck. They don't care. They're gonna look at. They're gonna look at you.
White people. Damn. What y'all?
Wait.
Top twos?
Happy, do you believe all white people are equal?
Why would I believe all white people are equal? Why are you asking these dumb, stupid questions when we know what history has taught us?
So history dictates everything in the future, right?
History is dictating what happened now.
Okay, so
white people came over here and then they brought the black people over here and they seen that these black people know what they are doing because we didn't just bring them over here from dirt and huts. We brought scientists, we brought artists, we brought engineers.
I wouldn't say all that.
Hush, I'm talking still.
You
so
can
we're
learn
not
something if you
looking at
listen.
just regular people. So we have to make them lower than us.
That doesn't make sense.
That is the reason why race was created in America, so the black people can be under whatever classism, because not only were we property, we wasn't classed as human.
Yeah, so there's a couple problems with that, right?
No, I'm not. That's not.
You're just looking to argue. If you listen, you will learn something.
History.
It's a debate live. Let him respond.
Wait.
No, there's
Becky,
no
nobody's talking to you.
history.
Stay quiet.
Let him respond.
There is a response.
Bexy, stay on mute.
There is a response.
We're talking about.
Let him respond.
Because she has to. That's just a control thing. This is history. Show me a source where we were not classified as humans.
I can't show you
a source where we were brought over here and they didn't think that
Bexy, I need you to be quiet. And you're going to be quiet. This has nothing to do with you. You can be quiet. You can be quiet.
No, to be fair,
you can be quiet. We already know why you want to speak.
Hold on, y'all.
I'm about to put this on Showtime if we don't let
him put it on Showtime when you didn't say nothing.
Yes, she can. She's a mod. She's a mod. Just hold on.
It doesn't matter if she's a mod.
Let Honey
when
respond.
He interrupted me, did she? Yeah, this is bullshit.
Okay, so to your thing, you're saying that black people have always known what they're doing, and they brought over scientists, they brought over this, that, the third, right? If that were true, and in the first place they didn't come from an uncivilized place, one, how were they captured by somebody who was lesser than, or whatever? How would you be captured by somebody who is lesser than? Two, it wouldn't make sense with how many slaves were brought in the transatlantic slave trade that if they were so smart, so cunning, and so much better, that they would have been maintained by the 300,000 white people compared to the 12.2 million estimated on those slave ships. That does not make any logical sense. So either white people were better, or, black people genuinely were not that smart at the time. There's really no argument against either side. It wouldn't make sense.
No, this motherfucker didn't. Hold on. Because I am not about to let that shit slide. First off,
Just a little
most
bit
people
slip
didn't
is
even come over
crazy.
on the boats. First off, most black people in America who were enslaved didn't even come over in the boats. They were prisoners of war from the Seminole Wars, the Gullah Geechee Wars, you know what I'm saying? These types of shit that they were doing to the indigenous people of America because we was already fucking her. Secondly, it wasn't that they were caught by white
Who is
people. They were
who
caught by
is we
other,
were
hold
already
on,
here?
He's talking. He let you
black
speak. He's
people.
talking.
He was forced
Black
to let me
people were
speak.
He's
already here.
talking.
Black people were already here.
Which black
I'm a
people?
mod too. I could have turned that shit off. What the fuck you
Which
talking
black
about?
people?
The Seminoles, the Gullah Geechee,
Are
the
they the same as the
Choctaw,
ones brought on the
the
ships?
Bex, isn't he interrupting? Shouldn't
no,
you mute
no,
him?
So then, how are you
I can
saying
mute
all
him
black? How are
Shouldn't
you
myself.
you
saying?
I can mute
mute
him
him?
myself. Let me answer. Shut up.
Shit.
Let
This
him
is some
answer, Tonka. Let
bullshit.
him
Shut up.
answer.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
Let him
Shut up. Let
answer.
me answer. There were black people who were already here who got caught up in the Seminole Wars, the Gullah Geechee Wars, and everything else, you know what I'm saying, captured by white people and it's reclassified as Negroes under Walter Pleckard and from the Red Books. So let's keep it completely 100. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. I
And
am
I'm
your
speaking
social
to one of
studies
them because I'm
classmate.
indigenous. If you
wait,
want
I
to
wait.
know
go
you.
I
there.
was talking about the
I
transatlantic
am
slave
too.
trade, not who was already
I am
here.
too.
Period.
No, the
Hey, brother.
transatlantic slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade is another lie told by white supremacy. Where are the fucking boats?
Where are the boats? I can tell you. That's like asking me to prove George
Yeah,
Washington. Can you
exactly,
prove to me
There
George
is
exactly.
a
So
Washington
boat.
even
There is a
existed?
boat that was
yes,
found. Hold on, let me find
yes,
it.
That's what I'm
exactly. That's my
saying. That's
point.
what I'm saying. Y'all are
Most of the
saying this
people
shit and
who
y'all
were
haven't even
enslaved in America,
researched. Y'all ain't
most
done
of the
no,
people who were
have no
enslaved in
education
America were
about nothing
already
y'all
black
talking
tribes who were
about.
At
already
all.
here.
They just
They
like
were not
they like
brought
doing
over
magic
on
tricks and
boats.
Okay,
pulling
so the
stuff out their hat when
Clotilda.
it
Okay, so
best
the
fits them. That's what they
Clotilda. The
like doing.
Clotilda is the last known ship to bring enslaved Africans to the U.S. Discovered in the Mobile
Yes,
River
but
in
most of the
Alabama.
that's not the
Brown
point that I'm
recluse.
Do
making. If
you
y'all
know how
listen
long it would
closely,
have taken to bring all those slaves over here?
just listen for a second. I didn't say no Africans were brought from Africa over here. I said most of the people who were enslaved in America were black people who were already here.
What is
That's
your
what I
proof of this
said.
claim? What is your proof of
Also,
this
There's
claim?
plenty
also,
of
you forgot
proof.
to add
There's
on,
plenty
bro,
of proof.
that what he said when he came
The
over
mounds and
here.
pyramids
Hold
of
on,
America,
let me teach
the
you some
Olmec
history.
heads, the Mayan ruins, like if they
You do
Let me teach
understand
you
how?
Hall of the
something.
Warriors,
Did y'all
all of
not
this shit that
know?
proved that black people were already in North and South
Did
America before Christopher Columbus brought his crusty ass over here.
oh, also
You guys
let
do?
me end it all. Did you not know when Columbus came over here, he thought that he came up amongst the Indians, which while they have that name today, why word or whatever you want to call it.
Why?
He
Because they
thought,
were
and
dark
he
skinned
referred to
people.
them as the BLK. They looked like the black people. So people here that were already here were BLK people.
They're not the same as the ones in Africa, though. We can agree on that, right?
Duh.
And
So
Columbus only
wait.
seen this
Oh
land. He
my
never actually
Hold on.
fucking
stepped
So
on
god.
it.
they're black people and they're black people,
Oh
but they're
my
different black
god.
people. What makes them different? Nationality, right?
Okay, let's go
Hundreds of
back
thousands of
again.
years
This
of
is actually
separation. That's
something
the
that I
only
was.
thing that makes
I
them
don't,
different.
to
Hundreds of
be
thousands of
honest,
years of
him getting this
separation, bro.
education, he can do it himself.
You
Yeah,
guys
because
also
I'm
know the
actually don't feel like
transatlantic
wasting my
slave
breath to
trade
be
was
honest.
400 years
He can
long.
do it himself. He doesn't want to learn. He just wants to show us that we're
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
How
That's
many
Are you
slaves were brought?
have
How many black
no
slaves were brought from
offense, but are
Africa?
you
Does
He
anyone
have
just
know?
an
YT?
indoctrinated kid. He just an indoctrinated kid.
No
Like he don't
offense,
know
but
what the
are you
fuck he
have
talking about.
YT?
Can anyone prove to me that the majority of
Ain't
Oh,
slaves?
you
nobody proving
haven't.
shit to you. Look it up.
I did look it
If
up.
you want
Majority of
references,
slaves
if
were
you
how
brought
old
want
are you?
here.
references,
You
they
don't. You
all
ain't
over
got
my
no
page.
library.
If hold on, if you want references, they're all over my page. You can go to my page and try to debunk anything you want to, and I'm gonna make you look stupid when I go
How
find
long
the
was the
resources that
transatlantic
prove you
slave trade?
wrong.
Oh,
How
and
long was
Didi,
it?
I don't call
Hundreds
myself
of years,
Native
sir.
How
American.
long
I
was it?
say
Hundreds of
indigenous.
years.
How many
Indigenous
hundreds?
people don't call
Hundreds of
themselves Native
years.
Yeah,
Americans.
how many hundreds? There's an exact number.
And
Hundreds of years.
Dee Dee, she was just saying
Oh,
Indians
no
because that's what
offense. Yeah, I was saying what he
Columbus
referred
called
to.
them that.
We
She wasn't
understood. We
calling
understood,
them
Queen.
that.
He
It,
just a young kid
yeah.
who don't know nothing. It's
How
okay.
many
And
stops
don't
did the
want to know
transatlantic slave
nothing.
trade make? How many
And don't
people were
want to know.
dropped off
You
in
asking us
Brazil?
like
How
this
many
is
people were dropped off
U.S.
in America?
history, and this is a pop quiz or something. What the
Yeah,
hell?
some dumbass
The
question.
idea that you even gonna take their numbers as valid is just shows how ignorant you are.
It's rough estimates. You could never prove any number
The
So
of the
what?
idea
This
What
that
is
you're
are
gonna
what's
they?
take
What
any
are
of
they?
their
Show
numbers
us your
as valid just proves how indoctrinated and ignorant you are.
Okay, so are you telling me you have more exact numbers that would beat mine?
No, I'm telling you there are doctors. I'm telling you there are doctors who have studied these issues, and they're not the ones that you're referring to, sir.
So the ones
Do
that
you
I'm
even
being
know who
referred
the
to are wrong?
expert? Do you even know who the expert on this issue would be in the first place? Do you
There's
know what his
the
name
expert.
is?
There's one expert
Yes,
that's above all
yes,
other experts.
yes,
And how is
yes.
he
There
above
is
all
one
other
ex.
experts?
There's only one man who's
Jesus.
ever
No, I'm
had a.
just playing.
There's only one man who's ever had a PhD in ancient African history. There's only one. So tell me what his name is.
Well,
That's the only name above all names. Like, man, don't get me
let's
started.
use the greatest
Tell me what his
research
name
tool ever
is. Tell me
created.
what his name is. What's his name?
You said he had a PhD in what?
What,
Ancient
Zeus?
African
Did you say
history.
Zeus? Okay, hold on.
Literally created the genre. So what's his name?
I'm looking it up right now.
He learning
The
something today.
absolute
Y'all look at
expert on this
there.
subject. What's his name?
I don't know how to pronounce that bullshit.
Mm.
CHEIKHANTADIOP. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Shankanta Diop?
Yep, would have never known.
No, he's not the expert.
Gandhi?
I mean, he's pretty good, but he's not the expert.
Who's the expert?
His name is Dr. David Imhotep.
Doctor. He's
Maybe
the
you should
only
look
one with a
him up.
PhD in
He
this.
wrote the book on Americans. I mean, the first Americans were Africans. He wrote the book on it. So maybe you should look him up and do a little study before you try to come on
The
these
first
panels
Americans
and
could
tell
not
us
have been
what the fuck we don't know.
Africans.
Yeah, they
Why's
actually
that?
were.
Because America wasn't established by black people, it was established by white
Yes, it
people.
was. That's not true.
Who told you that?
We just
Okay,
had a different name
America
for
was
it.
founded
It was
on
called
the
Turtle Island, sir. It was
America,
called
which
Turtle
is
Island.
named after America's Vespucius, whatever his name was. Okay, that wasn't. Now, as far as on what it was called before, we can go into all of that.
Turtle
But
Island.
bottom line of the story is there were BLK people here. We were everywhere, to be exact, before
Yeah,
they
being in the
came up
spot
here.
of
We
where
was like
something
American Express.
being in the spot of where something was created doesn't inherently mean that you created it.
If you
Oh
were the
my
first one
goodness,
there,
you
then
do not do.
then
I
inherently
feel
means you
so bad
discovered it.
because I feel like I'm arguing with like a. I'm not. No offense. I feel like I don't feel if you're
You
on
an
the
indoctrinated
scholar
kid.
level
It definitely
to
means you're
make
indigenous, though,
a
don't it?
debate,
It
you don't need
absolutely
to
means
come
Yeah,
you're
up here because you
indigenous.
don't. You have
Yeah.
not done any type of learning, research, actual research other than Google, and go read some books.
Who
Go do
established what
some
America
studying,
was?
stuff outside of the USA. People outside of the USA will tell you our history. So, like, what are we talking about?
So who established the United States of America?
Are you Googling that for yourself?
white
Because if
people.
you
I'm
You can
asking you.
actually Google that. I'm not gonna waste my breath. Google that.
Right, the
I'm
George
not.
Europeans,
You
the
Washington,
can
Europeans
Thomas
who
research that.
conquered it and
Jefferson,
stole it,
Ben
man. Yeah,
Franklin.
Yeah, the Europeans, right? So they created America,
but they
Are
created
you
the
happy?
system of America, not the
not the
Americas. No,
landmass.
But they were
I'm not
not the
saying they
first people
created
here.
landmass. I'm
you
not
talking about the
claiming
But they
that.
were
government?
not the first people here.
That you don't have
Oh,
to be the first person at some place to claim that place
To
as your own.
conquer it, to
Yes, you
conquer
do.
it, and take it over.
So do you
right.
believe we're on stolen land?
No,
Yes.
we're on
Yes,
conquered
no
land.
sir.
shit. We're on stolen
We've been
land.
telling you this for the
Oh,
past 30 minutes.
You
so
see, this is
due
why
to
it's
We're
due
good
to
to
how
still, we're still
listen.
here.
listen.
So due to
You
how the
have
planet
two
works, right?
ears and one mouth.
Due to how the planet works, right, and how the continents move, can you tell me who the first original people were of this landmass? Wouldn't it be
Black
animals
people.
before humans? And if it
Black
was,
I'm
do
gonna
we
people.
give it
Oh
say.
back
my
to the
God! Now he
animals?
making the animal comparison to.
So did they come out to sea and they start walking out to sea?
That is an
Yeah, I
excellent
think
question. Do you
we
believe in
we grew
God?
from fish, then
Okay.
to a monkey, then to a human being, y'all.
My great
I don't
granddaddy's a
believe in the theory of
goldfish.
evolution. I don't believe in the
He's the
theory of
best
Well, then
evolution.
what are you
boy.
talking
Actually,
about? Animals? Do you believe animals are here first? What are we talking about?
I'm asking you, due to the landmass being how it was, and everybody originating from Africa, right?
yeah, it would make more sense, man.
Wouldn't
You know what I'm
animals
saying?
have been
Think about it.
in the landmass of America before people? If everybody
So
originated
you're
from
saying
Africa?
Pangea? So everybody was here and then Pangea, and then everybody broke off, and some lions and tigers
Humans
and
did not
bears
exist
came
at
to
the time of
America.
Pangea.
Huh? Is that what you're
Humans
saying?
did not exist at the time of Pangea.
Yeah, no,
You
but
just asking dumbass questions at
So
this
did
point.
T
It don't
Rex
even
have
come
the
make
over
land
sense.
to?
wait, brown recluse, have the landmasses been the same since the start of human existence?
What
No,
is he
So
asking?
they
Of
haven't
course
been in the
not.
same spot.
Manny,
no.
stop. Just
So how
stop
can you
it.
prove who was in one location
Manny,
to
just quit.
start?
Let's stop.
Because
That's a
because
theory.
there
That's
are
not an
artifacts.
actual.
Because there are
That's a
artifacts that can be
theory.
carbon dated all over the fucking Americas, bro. And they all points back to black people. Have you ever heard of the Olmec heads? They
We,
fucking black people.
yeah,
Bro
we
got
already
fucking
agreed that not
Come
all
on,
black
teach
people
him.
are the
Teach him
same.
some.
like
Teach him some. Teach him
We already
some.
agreed
oh
Teach
my
him
not all
some.
black
god.
So
people are the
what?
Oh
What
same.
are
my
you,
god.
So
Manny?
if you're
What is he?
saying
What are we even
What are you
talking about?
debating now?
I don't even know because he just asking dumbass questions that show how
Hey,
ignorant
did you
he
know
is.
that apples and oranges don't look alike? Hey, what is the
Oh
matter?
damn! Now
Hey,
is an
did you
orange
know
called an
where
orange
apples
because it's
originated
orange?
from? They didn't
See,
come
this the
off the
question
tree. They
though.
came
This the
out the
question though.
seed.
But you
This
know
the
the monkeys
question.
are from
Is
here
the
and not
orange called
there.
an orange
Yeah.
because it's orange, or is orange called
You know, we
orange
turned
because of
to
the
a
color
fish,
orange?
and then a monkey, and then we turned into a lion, and then we
Did you
became
peel the
humans
orange
overnight.
first, or did you bite
Did
it
you know
like
that
an
some white
apple?
people are born with tails?
Was you confused?
Yeah, Kate.
We was born with tails and everything.
Who's the original people of America, and how would you prove
So
it?
did
And
we
can we
have
give it back to
feathers?
those same original people? And if we do,
Is
what
Native
does that
orange
mean that we
Americans,
all
which
have
orange
to
a
because
leave?
it's
which a big
orange?
percentage would be okay with black.
Yeah, so wouldn't that
Is
mean
an
that
orange orange
the
because it's
current?
orange, or is orange the color of orange?
You mean
Bro, you gotta
what came
stop that
first, the fruit or the color?
Is it
Did
blue
you
or
have
gold?
feathers
Is it
when you
blue or
was
gold?
born, or did they fall off?
Can you prove
Why
your
is
own existence?
Iceland
What
Can you
called
came
prove
first, the
Greenland?
chicken or the egg?
can you prove a material world exists
Oh
outside of your
shit.
own brain?
Why is Iceland called Iceland when it don't have no ice, but Greenland is called Greenland when Greenland is covered with ice? That don't make no sense.
What the
How did we get here?
Yo,
You,
dumbass.
the
you
hell?
you brought every
So
one of
so
us to
me
the
How the
table.
asking
What
hell
you
you
talking
gonna
about?
say how did we get here when we
me
asking
You,
the
asking who
bro.
the
same
That's how
original
dumbass
we got here.
questions you
hold on, hold
are?
on. Me asking who the original people are, how we can give the land back to them, and
Black
what we
people.
have to do. Wouldn't we have to leave the
Us.
land if
We're
it's
the
not ours?
original fucking people. If you're black when you
What you
turn
mean?
on your camera, we're the original people, bro. We're the
Wait.
originals.
But you just agreed that not all black people are the same. So if not all
They're
black
No,
people are the
nigga.
not. We
same,
all
how can
There
you
have
you
Never
prove?
different.
said
go.
that. You asked me
There
what's the
you
difference
go.
between you said what's the difference between us and Africans, and I said 100,000 years of separation. That's what I said.
But you agreed they weren't the same people.
That's not what I said. Oh my
Damn.
You
Oh,
god.
try
Again,
you
listen to
trying
brother.
hard. You
What kind
trying
of
he
hard
point you
to
said
trying
be
to
what's the
smart.
prove?
He
You
look,
no,
still
look.
dumb as hell.
he's
He
reaching for
said what's
like
the
threads
difference
in the air
between
at this
us?
He's
point.
He
reaching
He
said
has
what's the
no
behind.
difference
rope to
between
hold
us and the
on. He's just
Africans, and what did
reaching.
Mm.
I say? 100,000 years of separation. That's
Did
the
white
difference
people
between
originate from
Boy.
us.
black people?
Different branches of the
Yes.
same
So
fucking
Yeah.
white
tree.
people
BLK
are
women hold the mitochondrial DNA that creates every race. That's
so so
simple
Facts.
history.
so everybody originated from black people. So how can land be stolen if we're all black people and we all originate from black
We're not
people?
all black
Oh
people.
my
We're
We're not
not
lord,
all
all
black
bro.
BLK
people. Dumb
So it
people.
You
doesn't matter
motherfucker.
where you
trying, hun. You
originate then.
trying. How old are you?
18.
He young as
Oh,
hell.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
baby. Oh
Hun,
my
you ain't
I
even
told
got
goodness.
the
you. I
hair
told you
on
he
your
young and
balls
ignorant. I
yet.
We
told
get
you.
it. We get it now.
He young and ignorant. He don't know
Yeah,
shit.
start
So
him
He don't know
because
trying
shit
to
I'm
be
about
young, that
shit.
inherently
smart.
makes
No,
me
you know
ignorant.
what? I don't even want to
No,
talk
it's not
that. You
because you
know
young.
what?
It's because you young and ignorant. You,
And not willing to learn. How you gonna ask us questions? We've
I'm
been here
very willing to
long.
learn when you could provide sources and proof for your
You get your
claims.
I
own
gave you
sources. We
Got
sources.
ain't
Dude,
Dr.
we
Shank
this
ain't
and
no
is
Shadia.
teacher.
Hold
this
on,
has
hold on, hold on,
learned. So
honey.
we don't.
Hold
You're
on,
not
honey.
used to
Hold on, honey.
people
I gave
just
him
grabbing at
sources.
knowledge that
Dr.
they
Shank and
obtain.
Shadia.
You're used to
Look, look.
googling,
Saying a
Can I
doctor's
give him
sweetheart.
name
some
doesn't give me a
sources?
source.
Can I give him some sources? Can I give him some
Go
sources?
ahead.
Are
Can you
you
give me a
gonna
Write them
source
down.
that?
explain
Get
Hold
you
on,
a
hold
piece
on.
everything
of
Give me a
to
paper.
source.
them?
You know
Get
what's
you
a
some
good
paper.
book?
Give me a
Get you a
source
piece
that
of
Babylon
proves
paper and
all
write
Timbuktu.
black
down a
That's
people
couple
are
one good
names.
one.
are the same.
Hold
Give me a
on.
source
Just
that
let
proves
me
all
address
black
them,
people are the
y'all.
same.
Look,
Okay.
look. Get a piece of paper and write down a couple names. You got
All I
Dr.
need is
Shank
the
and
source for
Shadia.
what proves
You
all
got
black people are the same.
Well, if you're gonna
He's
learn, you gotta
Telling
be
you
quiet.
I'm trying,
sources.
and
bruh.
get your
This
pen and
motherfucker.
paper. You got one mouth, two ears.
You can't prove on
Shut,
why
Did you use
why
them?
that's a
shut
thing.
up, poison.
Doc
I'm
is
giving
looking
you
to
the sources
respond.
right
Listen to.
now. I will give you the sources
I
right
don't need
now. If you just
sources.
grab,
I need one
you just ask
source.
for
Hold
sources.
on. I asked for
You
one
just
source.
asked
Can
for
you? No,
sources.
you guys cut me off.
We're
Okay,
I
not
get
asked.
the
giving you
book.
sources
I'll
from
give you one
Google,
source.
sweetie.
I'll
I
This
give
need
you
is
one
one.
stuff you
source.
Listen,
go
hold on. I
I'll
need
read.
give
one
you one
source
source. I'll
on
give you
how all
one
black
source.
people are the same.
I'll give you one source. The book is called "The First Americans Were Africans" by Dr. David Imhotep.
This proves that all black people are the same.
Just look at it.
Oh
Just
my
read the book.
gosh.
A hard head will make a
Then come
soft
back.
ass, huh?
Read the book.
Yeah,
Is
It's
that
there.
what the book
I bet he
proves?
got a whole lot of
Read the
weapons.
book, then you come back. Okay.
I'm
You
not
know
gonna
what I'm
Read the
waste my
saying?
book.
time if the source doesn't
Hey,
have
don't go
the
out
You're
in the
not
street.
information I
ready
The
for this
need.
car's coming. He
conversation,
run
sir.
down, and get
I'm
hit by the
sorry.
car.
But yet,
He
this
don't
is
even
how I
understand.
know. You know what? I
Shorty
know
don't even
offense to
understand
you,
that by the
but this is
questions
how
that
I
you're asking, you're
know.
telling us how ignorant you are. Just by the dumbass questions you asking, you telling
I
us
just
what you
asked
don't
you for a
know.
source with
So
specific
I
information, and
just
I'm
gave you
asking
the
you if the
source.
information's in the
I
source,
just
and you
gave it
can't
to
tell
you.
He's
me.
I
giving
just
you a
gave it to you.
source.
I just gave it
And
to
you
you
What
keep on
information?
multiple
getting,
times.
Wait,
keep on wasting your breath, Manny. Go ahead. But you keep on doing it. I'm telling you now.
yep.
But you won't stop. You got to
No, I
keep
got up at
doing it.
4, went to the bathroom. I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't go to sleep.
All right. Good night. Thank God. This
Ain't no
motherfucker,
thank
boy.
God. I kept telling you when I went on mute the first time, y'all didn't listen to me.
I recognized what I was dealing with initially, and I was trying to let y'all handle it, but he just kept on talking. So I'm like, maybe I need to step in. The fuck?
Can you tell me what information is in the source you provided?
Did he get
Oh my
upset because I
goodness.
said they didn't bring over just men from huts? They brought over scientists and engineers.
That's what he got mad at.
No, I
That's what
didn't
he
get
got
mad at
mad
it.
And he also said that
You can't
BLK
black
prove
people
people
were
are
that.
the
stupid at once
best.
upon a
They
time.
brought over the best of the best.
Yes, black people are the best. What don't you understand?
How does the best become slaves? That
They
doesn't
wanted
make
the
any logical
strongest,
sense.
the smartest, the most
Gunpowder.
educated.
So they
They
were.
wanted
Yes.
whatever beautiful qualities they could find. They wanted them.
Yeah. So
So
how did
believe
those
that, bro.
qualities not overpower Europeans?
How? Because
Gunpowder.
mentally, that's how they worked. They
Gunpowder.
worked
That
mentally
see,
So then
before.
Gunpowder.
white
that
people
is
had
very much true. But
white
when
people were more
someone does
advanced.
not want to receive those sources, that's when it's a problem because he's not here to debate. He's here to he's not here to debate.
Yeah, you're right.
White
He's here
people
to
were more
just talk.
advanced. We can
Yeah,
agree.
Bex,
he's not here
He
to
can't.
learn. The part of a
No,
debate
see,
is
this
to
is the
learn
thing.
something.
This
He
the
has
thing.
taught me
You can't
nothing
debate a
but
subject
the
that you know
white
nothing
man
about.
patriarchal system that that is instilled in him.
It's
You cannot
Bex, are
instilled
debate a
in
you
a
near
black
your
subject that you
person.
don't
phone?
know anything about. You just can't. It's impossible. And by the
Bex,
questions
are
that
you
he's
near your
asking, he's proving
phone?
his ignorance.
Yes, what's
He's
up?
proving his ignorance.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Where did Vicky
oh,
go?
well, I guess you don't want it now.
Well,
Brown recluse. Do you
Vicky.
believe in God?
Which one? There's thousands of them.
Okay, so
There ain't
you
no
don't believe
thousand,
in.
hun. There's one. His name is Jesus, hun. And I'm gonna tell
Amen.
you right
See?
Okay.
now, don't
Well,
do it.
Okay.
Do
Vicky,
you
do you
believe in
Every
want
knee
Jesus?
shall bow.
Vicky? Do you want to come up and have
Every
showtime?
tongue. I think what's the name wanted some, but she left.
Because if you
That's what I
don't
said.
believe in
Who
the
you think
Bible,
Jesus was? What color you think Jesus was?
what
Hun,
color
that
do I
white
think he
man
was?
with the
Yeah.
golden
What color you
retriever.
think he was?
Once again, you telling me what you
Darker.
don't
He's probably
understand.
darker of skin from the location of his birth. They would make sense. It wouldn't make sense for him
Oh,
to come
now we
out
talking
white.
about being darker location at birth. What?
Wow. Oh, okay.
His
That
skin,
coming from you?
his skin
Right.
wouldn't have been white, but I doubt he was like what most people would consider black. I don't know what his skin tone would be. I wasn't
Then how
alive
did he
with
hide
him.
in Egypt? Then how did he hide in Egypt for 30 years?
He hid in Egypt.
For 30
No
years.
suntan lotion hiding in Egypt. Crazy.
Where was he
Over with
born? Where
Joseph.
was
Look,
Jesus
he's
Christ
over with
born?
Joseph with the multicolored coat.
Where was Jesus Christ born?
What would
Why
you
are you
consider
asking
modern day Iran?
us?
Weren't you the one that were talking about land masses and how they separated?
Yeah, he came over here with
Right.
the T Rex. Jesus and the T Rex came over.
Oh man.
Gotta ask us questions
Yeah,
again.
yeah, but Brian, if you don't believe in Jesus, that means you wouldn't believe in objective morality. So you could not prove or say that I'm ignorant in any way because what I'm doing is subjective to me.
Jesus was
How you
not the
gonna tell
so-called.
somebody
Jesus was
that's
not
trying
the
to
first. Hold
educate
on,
you
hold
that
on.
he
Let me
can't tell you
answer. Let me
What?
something?
respond. Let me respond. Jesus
White
was not the first
supremacy.
so-called savior that supposedly died and rose again on the third day. Jesus
He
is a copy
did.
of other
Hallelujah.
stories.
Thank you.
Jesus is a copy of other stories that are much older than him. So why would I believe in
Mm-mm.
Jesus?
He
So
don't
so you
believe
don't
that.
believe in any objective morals. So you can't call me ignorant because
How are
that
you
would
gonna
be
tell him what
No,
his
not
morals
believing in
are?
religion. Not believing in religion does not mean you don't have morality.
no
That
no
is
no.
a
Right.
stupid argument.
Where'd
That
that
That's
is
not
a
what I
come
said.
stupid
from?
That
argument to make.
that's not what I
Just
said. I
because you
said you
don't
don't have.
believe in religion does not mean you don't have
That's
morality.
not what
That's
I said. I said you
bullshit.
don't have objective morality. There's a difference.
What does that mean?
I do have
Objective
objective
morality means you
morality.
don't get your morals from yourself. You get them from a higher
Oh,
power.
you trying to cross word
Oh
with him.
I
yeah,
do have
Get
you
a
your
no.
ass
Hold
trying,
out
on,
of
hold on,
here.
hold
man.
on, hold
Don't
on.
be trying.
See, this
We
shit is
wasn't
too
born
easy.
yesterday. You
This shit is way
was.
too easy. This shit is way too easy. First off, the first savior, the first so-called savior that was called the Lamb of God that died and rose on the third day was Horus. He if you're
Horus.
talking about, I don't. Yes, Heru, Horus, the African
Jesus
god.
Christ.
Okay,
Okay.
so if we're gonna have this conversation, don't tell me I don't have any objective morality when your book only has 10 commandments and mine has 42 negative confessions. So
Yeah,
you can kiss
are
my
your
ass with that
commandments
bullshit.
absolute? How many of the
Yes, they
prophecies
are.
within your Bible have happened?
All of them. And it's not called the Bible, sir.
It's not called the Bible, which
Again,
is
you're telling
absolutely
me how
perfect.
ignorant you are and what you
Where do
don't
you?
know.
Why are you debating religion now? Why? Why did
I'm
you turn to
Because he's
no
trying
religion?
to
no.
find something. He's trying to
I'm
find
Can't you?
something or anything that he feel like he's smarter, and you're
I'm
not
not
gonna win
debating
this debate with
religion.
me. I promise you.
I'm not
Right.
debating
So
You're
religion.
not gonna win this debate with
so
Stop.
me.
why did you ask Brown if he loved if he loved God?
Because without God, you cannot have
He said,
objective
"Do I believe
morality.
in God?"
You ain't gonna find
There's
no
not
loose
just
strings
one
on
God.
Brown,
There's
bro, to
over
try to pull on.
2,000 of them. So you
So
trying to
that's
say
what I'm
that people that
saying.
believe in a
You
God different than yours have no objective?